Yup. Oh my gosh, I forget how dark it is, and I'm just like... You two please work. Okay, there you go. Okay. What's up, Vitamin C? How are you? I need to update the headline really fast. September nerdy. Hello, YouTube. Playing the Overwatch game. Spilo, this isn't like me? What's not like me? Looking extra thick and juicy today? Thank you. Dying? Nice. Lysandrade. Oh. What isn't like me? Looking so charming and handsome and charismatic. Yeah. Wait, actually, that's not exactly what I wanted it to be. Is it hot? Can't tell if you're complimenting me or complimenting on the weather, or commenting on the weather, rather. Either way, I agree. Went from D4 to Plat 5 today. Loving life. Love that. Hey, man. It's all about the mindset. It's all about the training routine, you know, and the habits and sticking with them. I've known you for quite a while. I know what you're capable of when you're actually doing what you need to do. And you got to know yourself. That's the big thing. You got to know what you're capable of. You got to know what you're capable of in both bad and good ways. You got to be sensitive to that. That's been part of my challenge with this whole thing too, as well as like cutting the floor out, cut the crap, Buster. You know what I'm saying? Day 32. What's up, mate? How are you? I go 23 and 2 and doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, man. You can't read the stat lines. You know how it goes. And yeah, you can go 23-2 in some games and lose, for sure. I believe thick and juicy were the adjectives used. Well, okay, the hot one. Okay, Sun Tzu. Well, I don't think Sun Tzu is what said know thyself, you know what I'm saying? Isn't Aristotle? Who says know thyself? Who said know thyself? I should know this. What's good fellowship? What is good fellowship? Or as in what's good fellowship? Comma is very important. The Let's Eat Grandma, you guys have never heard that one? Bro was on Hog for sure. What rank are we at now? Still M2. We managed to. We've done good. I've been a little busy the last several days, so I haven't been training as consistently, and also I had a little bit of unluck and a little bit of mental boomage. But we stopped the bleeding at like midway through M3. We didn't even drop into M4, which is that's the thing with me. It's like with how much I'm training. Like I'm training too little to reach GM realistically. But I'm just trying to, because that's just how I have time for. Holy moly. So it's just been like high quality hour as much as I possibly can, given my work schedule and stuff. And so every single time, you know, we get a little lucky, we get a little unlucky, we go up, we go down. But like, I have officially, okay, so as of like the last 3 weeks, so I work with obviously a lot of players, a lot of different ranks, a lot of different like mental strengths and weaknesses. And it's pretty normal for people to fluctuate 2 or even 3 tiers, like even if they're like pretty normally mentally. Not pretty normally, like as in like they're not like, they don't tilt or boom too much, right? Guys, I've been fluctuating like less than 2 tiers, or like 2 tiers on the nose. I've been actually like, which is actually pretty good. GM today for sure, not likely. So I have like actually done, like even with me, who I think I have like a below average competitive mentality when it comes to certain things, certainly not like a good one. I get too nervous and too upset, too emotional, you know. I've been working at that, and it's been getting there. Been able to, I've had games where I'm like, oh, just like, nope, just relax, it's fine. I mean, when you look at the grand final next stream, maybe. We'll see how interesting it is. So far, the Japan tournament, I've only watched a tiny bit of it. There's been a couple of decent games, but like, I think overall it's been like pretty narrative dry. Korean teams dominating for the most part. Everything else looks kind of flat, and it got flattened. Is it harder to coach champion lobbies or to play champion lobbies? I don't know. I mean, it depends on how effectively you play or how effectively coach, you know? Like, if you think about, like, how many thousands of hours would it take to play in a champion lobby, right? Probably 3,000 or 4,000, depending on how efficient you are. If you, for some people, more. It depends also how high of champ, like champ 1, champ 5, big difference, you know? And then how many thousands of hours of coaching and communication. Also depends on what you mean by champ. You mean, like, review the mistakes? Probably less, but like actively, like really explain it well and communicate it well, and like that might take a lot longer. Depends. That's kind of hard when you say coach. It's like the problem with coaching is it's like such a vague term, you know. You do most of rank on stream, yeah. I'd say about. I play a little bit less on my off days. I say I can go anywhere from 3 games to 6 games depending on the day. Cat Bastion cannot be that good. I think it's pretty good. It sticks with the whole layering concept really well as well. Like, it's with the Cat Bastion stuff, you have heroes that can really easily disengage ultimates and really easy force their ults on other people too. With the cat anyway. Coffee, sure. I don't know if I'll be able to give them full in-depth, but now is a pretty good time to ask questions for sure. Took my fluctuations from 3 to 4 rings to 2 rings. Yeah, that's good. If you're only fluctuating 2 ranks right now, or 2 tiers, that's really good. Because a lot of that fluctuation is just bad RNG as well. People that fluctuate more than that take their bad RNG and then turn it into like a cataclysm, which I've been there before. Many times. Ooh. I used to tilt someone. Oh yeah, you said sorry. Take care, Vitamin. Sleep well, mate. What are we doing today? Probably more map tier list stuff. I think we're on to Flashpoint now, but we're almost done. So we'll see. Flashpoint and push. Guys are what we have left. I think we have 7 maps left, which is pretty fast. And honestly, most of my criticisms of Flashpoint and push I think are gonna be a little bit lighter, because I do think that those maps are generally a little bit better. But I still think maybe there's some room for improvement. I don't know. This whole challenge has been partly also like forcing me to think more about like what I like and don't like about maps, because it's like I've never thought this much about individual maps, so I don't think I'm doing like a perfect job of it. I mean, it's more of an opinion piece with some explanation behind those opinions and maybe some constructive feedback, but it is kind of like if somebody was to ask me like how would you fix or what would you change about like Zarya, they're like, yeah, that's kind of a good question. Like I have to think about that more, you know. You don't think the artillery perk in Pro it's bad in Amir? You talking about the grenade the grenade perk? I think the grenade perk is like definitely worse than the Cat Bastion, almost certainly, because you're just not really using your grenades that often. It's like the turret's the more important thing, and having the ability to live stuff with overhealth like has to be like I think honestly, there's a chance that I wouldn't even pick the pre-nerfed artillery perk. Like even now that it's nerfed, I don't even know if I would have chosen it. Like that's like the one rare situation where like having nades just doesn't matter as much, you know. They pick the repair perk? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. The major perk is what you're talking about. Do I like Cat Bastion? I think it's a gimmick. So the answer is yes, but it's like having like breakfast for dinner. It's like, oh, that's cool. Well, maybe that's not the best analogy, because actually breakfast for dinner could be kind of good. But like, it'd be like having like ice cream or something. It's like, ooh, that was a fun treat. I'm going to be done after this stage, though. I don't think it's a hot take. I think people are like, all right, it's fine. The bans are making it so it's not Cat Bastion necessarily everywhere, at least that I've seen. So that's fine. It needs to get nerfed. It needs to get nerfed after this. Like, we've seen enough. Most fun you've had watching? Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely super different. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bless you. Thank you. What's up, Existence? How are you, mate? How hard do you think it's for pro flex DPS play hit scan on pro play? I mean, it depends. Nowadays, like flex DPS at the professional level is like you just are a mechanical freak that can play everything, and you just have the game knowledge to understand more projectile heroes. So it's hard, but DPS fundamentals are kind of the same. A lot of the time, I find like flex DPS players to be the smarter players and like really good at understanding like map control and positions and so on. Whereas hitscan players generally are like, especially some of the old school hitscan players, they're still not the best in terms of positioning. Like I think Lip is still probably the GOAT of Overwatch, but like watching, I would probably be more intent on like how Stalker positions with Cassidy or how Kev positions in Cassidy than Lip nowadays. Just based off of like, I just think those guys are more aware of like how map control and stuff works and timing and so on. But yeah, you still have to get the raw aim for it, and that does take time. But obviously, like, I don't think there's like the whole aiming style difference is that big of a deal. I feel like I'm having trouble closing out games. So I'm trying my best to facilitate if they're entering your system, they're taking an angle. I kind of tell myself to poke take off and do myself, so I find it harder to get on the same page with my team in pubs. Yeah, I mean, the reality is that like you just have to focus on like if you've watched any. I assume you're talking from a support perspective. But like the biggest thing with the support player is that you can't really look at your composition and decide like what is my responsibility. I don't know if that's exactly what you're saying, especially later in games, but it's like in later in games it's more important for you just to stand by what makes sense in that moment from your position. To focus on my positioning, where's my angle, and then whether that's helping tank DPS or solo angling, they just do that. What a lot of people try to do, and I've noticed this myself, is that especially in high pressure situations, I tend to just try to help anybody. Like I just get panicky and I just like fixate on something instead of just being like, dude, just do the exact same thing you've been doing the entire game. Just do your job. Don't. And I'm like, oh no, but what if what if that DPS doesn't support it? It's like, bro, just take your position, do your job. Like I've won games on stream because I was able to stay calm and just do my job. So I think just like probably might be worth reviewing some of those moments and like asking yourself like, did I actively make the right decision, and if I did make the right decision, why? For me, more often than the time when I make those wrong decisions, it's because I'm panicking and I'm nervous about other people doing their job, and then I end up throwing. Soul Glow perk, they can't all have just misclicked. I mean, I don't know, bro. I have no answers. I have no answers. I don't really care. I mean, I used to joke that like a lot of like the high level Genji players were choosing the major dash perk even when it was actively like horrific. It's better. It's a lot better now. It's actually good now, but like, so I don't really trust pro players when it comes to perk choices a lot of the time. Most of the time I'd say yes, but every now and then they just get hung up on a certain perk choice, and I have no idea why. I told you guys about the I mean, there was that case not that long ago with like pro NA players were never choosing initially off of the perks. Nobody was choosing heal bubble, even into like dive comps, like when your bubble's lasting forever. And then the Korean players started doing it, and then the Western players like followed suit. And this was months after I've been saying that they should have been choosing it. So I have no idea. Nutella, no. You'd have to look at your own gameplay and see if you could figure out like how you're positioning on it. Also, single map win percentage is way too small of a sample size. Even if you played 15-20 games on Hollywood, that's still a massive amount of variance just based off of like, did you have throwers, did you have tilters, did you get unlucky, did you get unlucky, when did you play, when did you not play? Way too much variance to say. You just have to like, and I agree though, like I definitely have a lower win percentage on King of the Hill as a whole with Ana Zen, but that's not a mystery. I'm playing Ana Zen and King of the Hill, you know, like it ain't that deep. So that might be the problem. Like, what, depending on your hero, maybe your hero's not that good, or maybe it ain't that deep. Why would the speed not be so much more survivability compared to globes? I mean, you tell me. It makes no sense to me. Consistent value, always choose that. Always choose that. Disengage, engage, rotate, literally leaving spawn room. It's easier. Get the fights faster. There's just literally no reason not to choose it. The globes is only thing I can say go for in globes is that it's not affected. The last I tested by the heal debuff or the DPS passive, I guess we call it the DPS passive. You guys know what I mean, the heal debuff. So it is a full 50 healing last I checked, but yeah, it really does. It's not acceptable. And these are the same pros, by the way. They said that the deflect perk was overrated because you could always rely off of your team's healing. So the irony, I hope, is not lost. Preventing yourself from getting tilted this game. Take breaks between every single game. Go in with goals. Yeah. Tilt is preparation, man. Cheers, coffee. I without knowing your situation, it's about the best advice I can give just blindly, but I hope it is of some service. You can also use the Wraith Spring during ult. Yeah, you can use Wraith Speed during anything, man. It's good. It's not OP or anything. It's just consistently useful. Never picking the double nade perk on Ana. I think the double nade perk is good. I think it's good. I've accidentally picked it a few times, and I'm like, oh, that was nice for the little bit of extra self-heal, and like once or twice a game I hit a nade that I otherwise wouldn't have hit. For me, I picked the headshot perk out of principle, because if I had the mental stack of Ana available to actually think about it, do it more often when I had it, I would be winning more fights with it. And when I do remember it, I do win fights with it, even with my bad mechanics. My problem is that I have too many things going on to always think about it. And so if somebody were to look at my gameplay and be like, you would probably win slightly more games with double nade perks, Philo, I would probably be like, yeah, you might actually be right. But I picked out a principle. If you're good enough, the value is there. If you can mental stack and so on. And so for like a plat or a gold player, if you don't feel like if you don't like doing that and you don't think you can get it enough and it's too many things to think about, then I will never criticize you. Go for it. But if you're a plat or a gold player and you're like, hey, I really like aiming for headshots and I think that I'm able to do it and get value out of it occasionally, then I'm not going to criticize you. It's just like, if you can use it, it's good. If you feel difficulty using it, then I'm not going to criticize you for not using it. Yeah, it's easier to get nade value. Nade value just kind of automatically happens. And there are situations where, like, potentially, on more compressed maps, if you're getting dove a lot, like if you're playing like Ana and King of the Hill, and to like dive, frick man, I could probably see the nade perk being like better in a lot of in a lot of circumstances. But it's mostly for like the ability to duel people up close. It's really nice in small rooms because you just get that extra. I think it's the extra damage. I think it's reduced damage. I don't remember what because it's been a while since I've run it, but a little bit extra healing, a little bit extra damage. If you take the nade perk, you're washed sissy. No, I think if you take the nade perk, you're realistic about your ability to stack multiple things at the same time. So I think it's probably a good decision for most people to choose the nade perk. But Hmm. 60 is a lot. Yeah, I mean 60, even with the heal debuff, that's a lot of healing. I mean, that's like what, 48 healing? Is it 25%? It's a lot of healing. It's a lot of damage. That is definitely that's definitely worth it, you know. What's up, Drago? What position do you play? Just beef. Nothing fancy. Something on my stomach so I can have a little bit of coffee because it's been a while since I've eaten breakfast. Caffeine doesn't really affect me negatively, but it makes me feel a little bleh if I'm on a totally empty stomach. Nice, dude. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, flag, it's great. Gonna be tuning into the World Cup? Maybe. I mean, probably should. And what kind of map is May a better pick than Sim? I don't know. Maybe maps where rotations aren't as viable. I like May more in compressed maps. Symmetra, if you're a May Sim 2 trick, you'd probably pick Symmetra in the more open maps because teleport rotations are really nice. But Sim isn't bad in the compressed maps by any means. It's just like that's like the major difference. Or maybe that there's like extreme verticality. Like I way prefer Symmetra on Gibraltar. So it's more along the lines of I'm kind of like working backwards because Symmetra is like way more flexible positionally than May. So it's like, where's Symmetra not like a must pick, you know, and then you can play her. Like King's Row, May is really good in King's Row. Sim's really good in King's Row, but the like Mei's got plenty of verticality to make that work. Legion Control Center, Mei's really good there. Night Market, Mei's good. There's not as much rotation needed there. I think Mei is not the strongest DPS, but I think she's okay. She's just a little bit trickier to play skill floor-wise, I think. If that makes any sense. I understand why people will think that she sucks. I don't know, that game audio needs to be turned down, sorry guys. The ult is really inconsistent for sure, yeah. I think when you give her the double jump now and her major perk with ice block, like she's pretty good if you know how to play her. I would never say that she's meta, probably too high of a skill floor for that. I think the other thing as well, as we kind of talked about as well, and the most misunderstood here is that people's interpretation of her skill floor is wrong, which is why she just doesn't really provide value a lot of the time if you don't know how to play her. Yeah, she's really hard to beat in a 1v1 with perks. She's really hard to beat in a 1v1 without perks. She just wins most of her lanes at almost any range. The difference is that she's doesn't provide a lot of utility. If you flood her lane or you rotate away from her, she can be challenged. And the biggest thing is, like you said, her ult is just really inconsistent. I think her ult's more consistent than people think it is if you know how to use it. Just to win an angle or a lane, not even necessarily to freeze anybody, just to force people to take really bad positions or really awkward rotations. But yeah, Symmetra is way more consistent, way more flexible, I think. Less burst poke, but way more sustain a lot of the time. Actually, that's not true. Not way more sustain, but like consistent sustain, especially once you get her perks, I guess. Like having shields is really nice. Having the ability to get out and get in from angles might as well be sustain. You know, you get your teleport heal perk, which is insane. Probably the biggest thing that Symmetra does is just more consistent movement. It's like so incredibly powerful. Yeah, her poke damage can be really good. Yep, 170 is insane damage for a headshot. You were to play Koth vertical mouse or Ana's bad. What would you learn? I mean, optimally, Kiriko is like obviously always the better choice, right? Like Kiriko is just the most flexible support in the game. But I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't really know. Mizuki is better, but I don't think Mizuki is like a major upgrade, at least until he gets his speed perk, and even then it's like it's not necessarily always the better perk. I don't know. I actually really don't know. I think having something with I don't think verticality is as much of a problem as close range. Because verticality, a lot of maps where verticality is really oppressive is where sightlines are also pretty good. So Ana, Zen can feel fine. I would probably go with something with speed. Like, even straight up running Moira in a lot of situations, or Wu Yang would be better. But yeah, Lucio, Wu Yang, Moira, Kiriko, those are all just net upgrades with my hero pool. Brigitte to a lesser extent, yeah. What do you think of his mid-season buffs? It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't really fix his fundamental issues, but I can also see it of it as a band-aid for right now. Just because he is like really, really, really bad. And so they're just gonna make him a little tankier and then maybe address some of his issues at some other point in time. Bab's utility is just terrible. AoE sustain is terrible in Overwatch 5v5. And that, as map design continues to migrate away from chokes, Bap just gets worse. Because the thing that makes him unique is his ability to weave and AoE sustain. And weaving just isn't that good anymore. You still do it. It just provides much less of a value than it used to. Is Bat the most outdated character in the game? He's definitely up there. He's probably the most underrated, outdated character. People don't think about him enough. People think about Bastion and Roadhog and stuff like that, but like, Bastion is aged much better. Imagine coaching people when you were masters. I mean, I don't have to. Strange question. I'll get to that question in a second. That one looks like a longer question. Remind me later if I forget.
Everything's going according to plan.
Yeah, match Gochu people in your plat. They don't even know.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
I'll handle this.
Hey, that's great value.
Well, that was interesting. I don't mind Numbani so much since the rework. It's a bit of a challenge there with Zen for sure. Like you got to kind of be a little creative, but we had a couple flankers, so I'm allowed to kind of just silently move with them and just be really patient. Imagine paying a plat player to $80 Gochu. Yeah, I don't know. Seems a poor lack of judgment. I can't make it up, man. Why are escort maps still 5v5? I mean, I don't know. I don't think the game mode is completely flawed. It has its issues.
I will not leave a broken world behind.
Yeah, just learn from your mistakes, guys. Dude, it's a literal game. Why are you paying for video game coaching? Imagine paying for a coaching session or a coaching service for a literal video game. That has to be the most beta virgin thing I've ever heard in my life. Why are you guys here? Seriously. You need to get coaching for, like, real alpha stuff, like piano and stuff.
Vote for a map.
And Jason coming to Dead by Daylight? I don't know. I've watched Stefano play Dead by Daylight a little bit. I've never played. Waiver's just overturned, yeah. Why am I playing this children's game? The cartoon game, yeah, exactly. Ah, frick, man. King of the Hill. If you want to coach people, you must have blue eyes. Okay. Well, we've now gone from being a troll to being borderline racist, so that's where, sadly, we have to draw the line. Take care, Mohamed. Have a good rest of your day, my friend. Freaking love that. Ugh. Do you ever guys like get the feeling when you start an interaction with somebody and you feel a little bit like, I'm not stereotyping, but I know where this person is going to go, and I know all this. I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to get in any trouble. You guys saw that whole interaction, how that went. You guys knew where it was going. No, not that. Not that. Just the whole.
Leave a broken world behind.
We knew who he.
Keep in sight.
Yeah.
I'll have us in and out in no time.
Yeah.
I feel a little bad.
Anyway.
We're about to
I'm
ruin your
proud of
day.
GG's.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
I won't let you fall. That must sting. Don't fret. Eyes on a target. Enemy in sight. Targeting hostile. I need to reload. I'm here. Keep fighting. Close your eyes. Helping you out. there. Огонь по готовности.
Minor perk unlocked.
Огонь по готовности. I'm not finished. Ready for duty. I'm reloading. Not so fast. No recovery. Shotgun. Eyes on a target. Heading you up.
I am on fire. Everyone, on the objective.
Move up at my position. Targeting hostile. This ends now. Keep fighting. Come to my position.
Best round lost.
My bad. My bad. That was a good example of like me panicking about somebody and then just completely being unaware of my surroundings.
Score 0-1.
Yeah, the Malga's the lowest ranked player in the lobby. That's just kind of how it is. But he was like, the initial rotation was good, but he just stood there and just took damage after damage after damage after damage after damage. You can't do that. You either got to go in or do nothing or something. I thought I was gonna sleep that Tracer, man. Does that? That works, right? I always forget that interaction. I think I just missed the sleep.
Nobody's clean.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
I won't let you fall.
Now is not the time for a bad pace.
Enemy in sight. Taking care of you. I'm under attack. I have you. Keep fighting. Reloading. Covering you. Group up with me. Don't fret. I see you. Taking damage. That must sting. I won't let you fall. Eyes on a target. This will cut the pain. Nano boost is ready to deploy. Over here. Slow down. Enemies left here. Helping you out.
Enemy turret ahead.
Without them tear. I've slept one. I've got you. I'm reloading. You're powered up. Get in there. Can go down. I'm under attack. I need to reload. Improve MA.
This ends now.
I have you. Keep fighting. Targeting hostile. Over here. I'll keep you up. I want what you for. One of these days I'll end up in Fiji. Eyes on a target. So for your out of ammo.
Just a nervous warm-up game. That's all there is to it. Too much messiness. You can tell there's like this the first game of the day. It's just kind of screwy. Yeah. Got the dog in me. The dog needs to like lie down. Could be worse though. It was fine. Yeah. Thoughts on mashed potatoes? They're fine. Yeah, it was just too panically. You see it, Coffee? You see it, Coffee? There were so many fights that if I had settled down a little bit, just relaxed, hit a shot or two, we would have been fine. And we still almost won that, you know? Yeah. Thoughts on mashed potatoes? Like I said, it's okay, you know.
Vote for your map.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, Coffee? Exactly. It's okay. It happens. You can't worry too much about it. It happens. A little bit of nervousness, a little bit of no, just it's fine. You're good.
Select
You
your
know.
hero.
Miss some sleep darts, miss my nades, Malga's panicking. My tank last time was kind of a turd, honestly. She was kind of being a butt. The whole passive aggressive behavior that game was
Select
annoying.
Hero bands.
I don't really care what we've been, but like that's my point. It's like that was like a distractingly bad, but just focus on your job. I don't mind Numbani too much. Oh no, guys. Do you see who it is? Oh no, oh no, no. Did you see it? Did you see who's on the enemy team? Ba-dun.
I will not leave a broken
Those who
world
know.
behind.
The world
Freaking
evolves,
Benadryl Brig
and
is
so
there.
must we with it.
Freaking Benadryl Brig is here. Oh no. If you guys don't know Benadryl Brig, you're about to get real acquainted with Benadryl Brig.
Keep moving out there.
Ah.
Don't want to give him any easy shots, do we?
Do not speak to the pilot at this time. He is
No, they're not a thrower.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A.
Covering you. Eyes on a target. Enemy in sight. Targeting hostile. Eyes on I go out on my terms. Hold on, reloading.
Careful, we're outnumbered.
I'm under attack. One of these days I'll end up in
Let's
Fiji.
attack the objective. I have the
Rendezvous
objective.
at my position.
The objective is
Keep you
mine.
up. Targeting hostile.
I need help.
Over there. My ultimate is charged. Nano boost almost
Point
ready.
is vulnerable. Let us take it.
Enemy in sight. No wonder I surrendered my will. Use up. Hug. Don't say. I see you.
Nerf this.
No recovery.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
My ultimate is ready.
maximum speed.
Misery made manifest.
Eyes on a target. Keep an eye out. I'm here. Taking damage. Intub amen. Reloading. You're powered up. Get in there. لسه قدامي كتير.
यही परम वास्तविकता है
Tango down.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
I'm under attack. What the gnome? Over here. Need this. Next time, say please.
I offer something more.
I won't let you fall. I won't give in. Come, nano boost almost ready. Group up at my position.
Minefield ready.
Sit tight. Catch you later. Get the payload on its way.
EMP
You're hard up. Get in there. Happy to assist. I need healing. Such grooves. Stand up straight.
surrender to my will
Minefield deployed. It's the other one.
यही परम वास्तविकता है
I appreciate it.
So some messy moments there, Ben. Some messy moments, but we did okay. The first couple of fights were just
3-0.
offensive, dude. We should have won the first fight so easily. I just clunked into a wall, and then I freaking alt-tabbed on the second fight and just tossed it. Yeah, Benadryl Brig is trash on not Brig. Legitimately terrifying on Brig, though. It's really good on Brig. Does this whole flank thing, does it really well, really good at managing attention. Makes that shield feel like a trillion HP. But yeah, there was some pretty freaking good fights, like at least really good honest fights for me there. And then there were some really bad fights. My team honestly deadlifted most of that.
I will not leave a broken world behind. Maybe one day we'll go on missions in Hawaii.
Yeah. Kitty, what's wrong?
Push your limits. Nothing breaks.
That was
but I
almost a
cannot
toss
bend.
for me, but like I said, team played exceptionally well.
Entered my passcode too quick and now I'm locked out of my phone.
Where's my
I can
Moira?
unlock it for you, Carino.
Where are we going?
Yes, love. Oh, wait. You trying to pull a fast one on me?
You're smarter than you look.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
أنا بحرسكم. Enemy inside. Enemy spotted. They're taking the objective. Focus our defense.
Double
Happy to assist.
Over here!
A sip for the park. Todo listo por aquí. Peace.
Eyes on a target. I'm here. Keep fighting. Cannot escape me. Help me. Drill confirmed. We have enemies on the point. Lock it down. Nothing wrong. We need to protect the objective. I won't let you fall. Thank you.
Almost ready. Your end is within my reach.
My ultimate is ready.
Keep
My
an eye
ultimate is ready. Join me.
out. Enemy spotted.
Over there.
Watch here. I keep you up.
minor
Soy intocable.
I still have some fight in me. Come to my position.
60 seconds remaining.
Much appreciated.
Nano boost is ready to deploy. My ultimate is ready.
System compromised.
Seconds.
You're powered up. Get in there. Don't fret. I see you. Objective. That must finish.
Nice.
Victory.
I don't know, man. I feel like Numbani, there are some people that just still have not figured it out. It's really funny to watch. Like how awfully the enemy team played that. And how well my team played it. Like, they just came from the same angle every time. Like, every freaking time. I don't know. It's not that hard, man. It's like, I don't know. I don't know.
Choose your map.
My bad on the death to the Orisa there. I didn't know you can make that jump. So I kind of already accepted my death. And I was like, maybe I can just get some out here. But honestly, oh, I should. Oh no, not Nepal, please, not Nepal.
Select your hero.
I'm doing well, Ozzy. Sorry I missed your message. I might have missed some of y'all's message. I apologize. Dude, I'm not playing versus Lucio on this map if we don't have a Lucio player. It's not Lucio's problem. I'm okay with playing versus Lucio in most other maps, but we can't. We can't.
Let's get started.
We can't. We're gonna lose the race of the choke as it is. I'm gonna split immediately and just hope for the best.
Even if there's someone better, shoot to be the best.
This team's got it.
Form up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
Gotta go.
I'm right here.
We have enemy here. Healing fortified. Over there. You're covered. Got an enemy here.
The objective is not.
You make great target practice. I still have some fight in me.
Enemy over here. I want this point. Enemy over here.
Healing you.
Over here.
Enemy here. I need to reload.
Get them away from the objective.
This is not the end.
Hey, it's Kiriko.
We are not letting them take the point.
I got you.
Come here. I'm getting the objective.
We got him where we want him.
An enemy.
I'm here. Keep fighting. You're powered up. Get in there.
Rising from the
Objective's
I
mine.
won't
Here
give
to
in.
join me?
Name's Cassidy.
Stand up straight. Not wrong. I must keep my skills sharp.
bad guy.
Excavation initiation!
Carol, move up with me. We're outnumbered. Be careful. No recovering. Gotta go. I go out on my terms. Come to my position.
Objective.
Don't fret. I see you. Seat tight.
Best round lost.
Keep it up.
Oh man, I need to get that Kiriko kill, man. That's it.
Score 0.
And we also used 3 ults and killed a Rhine. And then didn't kill anybody else. I know the panic is there, but that's a game-losing mistake there, or a run-losing mistake.
You gotta give me some pointers on being more stealthy.
I can't picture
You have to get more than that.
Anyone.
You know, I might just surprise you.
Well,
You've got what it takes.
Five, 4,
Over here.
3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Thank you.
The name's Cassidy.
Targeting hostile. I won't let you fall.
Over here.
The objective is lost.
I'm not finished.
Orisa is here.
Challenging hostiles.
Covered in you.
I am locking down the objective.
Team
And one
killer.
of the thought it would be.
Over there.
Major pass.
You made the right decision. I'm under attack.
They're taking the objective. Over here.
You'll have to try harder than that.
Excavation initiation!
Threats detected. We are at a disadvantage.
Let's kick this off. EMP activated.
Meet your fate.
Over there.
Rendezvous at my position. Double me inside. Targeting hostile. Help me. Covering you. You're powered up. Get in there. Happy to assist.
Double kill. Team kill. Enemy in sight.
Огонь по готовности. Excavation initiation.
Round 2. 1. Enemy in sight.
I'm proud of you.
Nice job.
Score.
My Sombra's doing the Lord's work, honestly. She's really helping us get out of these chokes up pretty frequently. She's doing a great job. She did a good job in the first round, too. My problem there is I just gave him the free retake because I was like, oh, I gotta focus on my headshots. But it was a 2v1. Like, William was spoken to me and Cass was spoken to me, and I didn't even notice the Cass at first, so I just needed to be more respectful. I could take that duel, but I can take that duel 1v1. Even if you had an advantage in the range, if you take a 2v1 poke duel, I could be Widowmaker there, and that still wouldn't feel great. You know what I'm saying? So.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Over here.
Round 3. Capture the objective.
Thanks.
Let's make this one count.
Over there.
Over here.
I still have some fight in me.
Get them off the objective.
I have you. Keep fighting. That must sting. I won't. Group up with me. Group up with me. I'm here. Keep fighting.
Enemy in sight.
So for your wounds. Enough whining. Your enemy in sight. What's one more thing? Taking damage.
Enemy located. Meet your fate.
Over there.
No recovery.
Objective mine. Care to join me?
I won't let you fall.
Activated.
Eyes on a target. You're powered up. Get in there.
We are after you, Edward. I like that. Over there.
Come to my position. Group up with me.
Over here. Let the kitsune guide you.
You're fine. you.
Double kill.
They're taking the objective.
Don't fret. I see you. Keep up with me.
Got a new friend.
Targeting hostile.
I'm here. You're mine now.
Keep up with my position. Nano boost almost ready. Enemy in sight. Dreams. You're powered up.
Over here.
Get them.
The objective. Overtime. Victory.
Nice. Nice. We clutched. Who raided me?
Play of the game.
I didn't even get a chance to look. It was an unfortunate time. Oh, just Kazaru. Thank you for the Kazarai. Sorry. Thank you for the raid, man.
There is pride before
Kind of
the
in an
fall.
awkward moment. Hope you had a good stream. That's great. Clutch sleep. Thank you. Scary game, man. I appreciate the raid, dude. Torb is dishonest, but Torb is not like skillless dishonest. Torb's problem is that way too much of his power budget is bloated into winning 1v1s around Overload. But I think Torb is like probably a step above of like the truly brain dead characters. I don't think he's truly brain dead. Because anything that has like, nice, 3-win scrim, nice. Anything that has like mechanical aim requirements is like, okay. I mean, it's not about the press button don't die is dishonest, because you could literally say that about like 50 different abilities, you know? It's the fact that like Overload is like a very easy ability to use. There's not a lot of nuance to it compared to, and it's like there just isn't a lot of thought into it, you know? He's a pretty spammy character, and until he gets like Anchor Bolts, there's also Turret isn't like that hard to use either. But I don't think he's like the most dishonest hero, you know, by any means. I think there's other heroes that have like lower skill floors. But yeah, he's pretty spammy. Alosa's value is pretty spammy. Sorry, I gotta go. So I enjoy those type of challenges, the hide and seek Ana, and like having to be creative and making sure that you hit those clutch moments. I enjoy that a lot. The concept of like whether a character being dishonest or not is about whether you can bait the cooldown or not. I don't think is a good argument. When people say dishonest hero, I think they mean that the character generally takes less effort to play than it does to play into. But looking at it from a Torbjorn's perspective, it's also along the lines of like it's very hard to manage Overload because a lot of heroes can bait it and disengage, or can just force it. So it's like it's not just like, oh, Torbjorn, it's also like Torbjorn just has fewer options, which is why he's just not super good at the highest level usually.
Select a map.
You know, like that's the challenge. You can bait Overload, but if you don't bait it, you lose. And for the Torbjorn's perspective, if you do screw up your Overload, you just die. Like that's just it. That's your value. You know, so
Select your
Yeah.
hero.
so when you say whether a character's dishonest or not, it's about not about whether you can punish the character or not. That's usually a question of whether the character's overtuned or just. For me, it's all because Moira's the same thing. You just hit your shots, you die. She has nothing to stop that, right? But it's also why Moira doesn't scale super well. You know, anything that's like anything that's a skill check in Overwatch, I think is like that's my definition of a dishonest hero, in many ways. Because it just makes them very difficult to kind of adjust. Like, how do you buff Torb? You know, like it's not impossible. Certainly not impossible. It's just you just need to do more tweaks to his kit. Hey, Arsenal. Hey, Abby. Yeah, we're doing fine. Doing good. Games have been good today, even though all the games have been good today. I guess the Mbana game wasn't that great. Kind of got carried a little bit, but it was good. Put Pharah at the apex of the dishonest merit? No, I think Pharah is very high skill. Very high skill ceiling, certainly. But yeah, I mean, if you think that she gets too much value, I think she definitely can be dishonest with her perks, for sure. Is Kiara a Zen pick over Ana? No, Ana's really good here too, but like, it's more Zen than anything I've played today, and Ana's banned, so. I haven't played any Zen yet today, and it's a fine map, so. But yeah, if you want to agree that the Pharah perk changes have made her more dishonest because there's less counterplay and it takes less like effort from the Pharah, it's just kind of free value, then I would agree with that, yeah.
You already do.
Yeah. But we've had this conversation. You guys know my opinion on these pings.
5,
Your composure is commendable.
2, 1. Attack commence.
Setback.
¿Qué onda?
Greetings.
Hey there.
Hello.
Objective A captured. Escort the payload.
I release you somewhere.
Watch here.
My systems are restored. The payload is on its way. Hey there.
Try looking before you leave. Take everything from them.
Minor perk unlocked.
Get the payload going.
Meteor strike.
Into the island.
Not bad.
The outcome is not preordained. Group up here. not alone.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Chaos haunts your path.
Meteor strike.
My spirit burns.
Let the Kitsune guide you. Kitsune no Kagizune o Tokihanate.
Meteor strike.
Into the iris.
Plotting out the good Justice reigns from above.
Round 1. Complete.
My thing with float perk is it's always hard to quantify when and where you win fights due to it
3.
until it isn't. And if it's just 1 or 2 fights, then it matters, man. Like you literally, I could have played that one at the end a little better for sure, but like we just win, just float perk. We just win. That was it. We just literally just won the game because of float perk, right there. Just being able to disengage and then retake the position again. That's it. You just win. So it's like one of those, like, it's like headshot perk for Ana. Maybe not the perfect analogy, where it's like, at least at my level, where I'm not going to win very many fights from it, but then I'm going to win a fight off of it, just off of it.
Amid discord,
So,
we will find
what's up, Bart?
tranquility.
I hope it ends up in base kit. I do too. You would definitely have to nerf him a little bit because I think it would make the character like slightly stronger. But the nice thing about the float perk is it is something that lower rings aren't going to necessarily exploit. But Zen is already really strong in lower rings. He needs help in higher ranks, and I think that's where float perk helps.
It sat dormant until Aurora's arrival.
So
I bet they left because they divined
it's a solid perk.
that Omnics would need it in the
It
future.
ain't like A or S tier, but
Interesting theory.
it's good as other ones. So anyway.
I admire your discipline.
5, 4, 3,
Listen to my prayer.
1. Attackers incoming. Defend objective A.
What goes around comes around. Could have been cleaner. True strength does not always lie in victory.
Keep your eyes here. They are seizing our objective.
Many hands.
Over there.
We deliver.
Over there.
Into the iris.
Fall on the objective. It is ours.
Meteor strike! It's the other one.
Watch yourself out there.
For now.
60 seconds remaining.
I am under attack.
Plotting out the dig site.
You are
30 seconds remaining.
Victory is our destiny, but we must win it with our hearts.
Ten seconds.
not all now. Hold on to your approach. An enemy comes. I will give you shelter.
Victory.
Yeah, they just kind of boomed at the end. Their supports just did jack all that game. Like, you're limited, definitely, but there's, like, no excuse for Zen and Kiri to be just basically standing literally in the choke and not even taking the high ground there. Our Ram did a good job. That's not an easy comp to play Ram into. Double poke, Doom, Discord.
Coming through.
We'll probably stop there. I'd like to get more than that tier list done. Casually letting rockets enter him. Dude, honestly, that's so underrated. Like, actually, that's so underrated with this character. Like, okay, so here's another thing with the float perk, okay? This is especially noticeable in, like, Circuit Royale and, like, super, super heavy poke maps. Changing your crosshair placement and, like, having a longer vision and a very steady vision, that little extra meter, really throws people's aims off, and it helps you out a lot to win, like, right clicks across the map. Like, I get way more value out of, like, avoiding damage. I literally, like you saw, I literally will jump over projectiles sometimes. You saw me ego the Emre ult because I can float in the open and he has to hit a direct. There's like tons of little tiny things that, like, I think this is where, like, if I would go back and do the perk tier list, I think I'd move it up, like, a couple, like, 7 or 8 placements. I think it'd be in the same letter. I don't remember where it was, but I'd move it up. But, like, because it's, like, even just even just spamming down a choke, you could jump, peek, and then just very steadily aim and have a slightly better vision. It's like a 1% increase of you hitting a kill, you know? Baiting Doom and returning was funny. Yeah, it's like all those little things here. So, yeah, Venture did a good job. Venture did a good job. I think it was, their backline was just so unbelievably passive that game. Like, they just never, ever took any initiative whatsoever.
Ready for battle.
Red Eye, thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate it. Like, you can't spend the entire... Like, again, I was the one playing into the Doomfist here. So, like...
Ready for battle.
Nice. Congrats, dude. GM last season. That is ridiculous, dude. That is an insane climb. But we just had map control the whole game. I mean, look at this setup. The setup is elite. The setup is perfect. Love the Hanzo coaching? Cheers. This is just a miss. The reason why I got punched here, chat, I literally thought he got the angle wrong. So I'm thinking about backing off here. I thought he was too low. You see it? Do you see why I thought that? Do you see why? Dude, honestly, I got scammed here. Look at this. I knew it felt too... This is why I didn't back off. He just... So I was like, oh, he's going to miss it. Otherwise, I would have just gone to here. So then if I get punched, I slide backwards and I can get easy heal from my Kiri. But this is one of those moments where TP Suzu is okay if you can get it in time. Because I will kill him. Or force him off. And as long as she goes back... And this is so stupid. This is where I got a little bit overwhelmed. And honestly, the Doomfist just choked. I choked. Doomfist choked. Doomfist choked worse, though. So I'll take that. And then this is ego, I think. Not this. This is fine. This is being respectful of Doomfist's threat. I pre-rotate here so that Doomfist can't get me with 1 cooldown. He misused this block, so now he disengages there. So so there's okay. Let me kind of talk through like some of my decisions here. Do you guys want to hear the mind of a above average play? So I'm pre-rotating here because my Emre and Venture have given up space. So I can't even play this one cautiously because there's no punish for the Doomfist doing this. If he dives me with 1 cooldown, hits me with my Venture and Spawn and Emre here, like, I'm just going to get smoked. So I pre-rotate out, take a more conservative angle. I can still poke the line. I'm still trying to keep my crosshair. That crosshair placement, you can tell, is too low. I need to pull that up. But, like, I'm doing fine. Keeping my orb on my Emre. I get naded. I'm like, okay, I definitely need to get out. That Doomfist might cheat on me, so I just need to get out. He might just run at me. So I see this, and he punches, and then I know that if he had block, he would have used it here. He doesn't. So I'm like, okay, that means we're full disengaging. So now I can fill that gap and go back to my original angle to follow that. Again, just spamming, trying to decide between where the head height is, if it's staircase, if it's at the choke, just getting some extra damage in. Doomfist uses a cooldown here. I hear Kiriko teleport. This is when I egoed. I egoed way too much here. Even if Doomfist does have teleport, I need to go ahead and pre-rotate again to here to where he's not 1 cooldown away. So this is bad because Doomfist will kill me here. It's too close. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm just dead. I should just go in and try to get a kill, which is stupid. I could have maybe still lived there. Kiriko comes in clutch. I pivot over to swap to their Kiriko. And honestly, I could have killed her there if I'd been a little bit better, but that was just really poorly played for me. I need to keep rotating back, get help from my Kiriko, and then just drop, and then go from there. And then at least if I die, it's expensive. But yeah, that was poor. It's expensive death for them, for me, sorry. Like they lose a lot of CDs on me, but it was unnecessary. So this is me trusting my team. I toss an orb. I shoot here because I've heard him already use cooldowns. Like he's already used his punch, or he's already used his. So if he goes for me here, he dies because I will dodge the punch, and then he will die from me in the crossfire. As long as he doesn't have ult there, which maybe that was a bit of a misplay because he was awfully close. Now there's a lot of noise going on right now, so they won't hear me charge a right click. I know somebody's here, and then I'm like, okay, Emre's got to come after me, so I just need to live. I hear Emre back off, so I back off. And I'm like, float, this, and I get back to my angle. I honestly, guys, no joking aside, you know what tickles me to death? I'll be playing ranked or doing something, and everyone in the chat is just having like a philosophical Overwatch discussion, just like kind of off on their own, like the entire game. I kind of like that, honestly. I respect that. You guys are cool. I'm glad that like attract cool people. Yeah, I'm literally just like talking and just I don't even know if anybody's listening, but I'm having fun and I'm glad you guys are having fun. I don't care. I feel like this is like the Greek philosophers, you know. This is where, okay, so I know we don't have any space right now, and I see my ram push. So I'm thinking, okay, we're in serious trouble. I have to help my ram out right now, otherwise he's going to die. If I AFK, we're gonna lose. But I have trance, and the Emre doesn't know where I am. So as long as I float over the ground, which I didn't quite get in time, then I can buy myself time. So I trance him. Here we go. Andy, thank you for the sub. And that's trance value right there. The ability to just ego an angle and then end in a good position because you had that, and then press a duel with that. So that trance, in a way, saves my RAM. And that's really how to use trance in 5v5. Not even 5v5, just the DPS passive as a whole. It's a lot easier to punch through than trance, more so than it's ever been before. Okay, I see cooldowns being used. I'm going to match my teams. I'm just matching my team's aggression. Always matching my team's aggression. Like, it's never about memorizing set rollouts. Like, how many times have you guys seen a Zenyatta and GM play this position, right? Or Champ or Bronze, right? Like, I don't know. It just depends. Like, right now, with the float perk and with where my team is holding, it would be feeding not to play here. You know? It'd be feeding not to play here. Now, I don't know that I feel comfortable with the respawns playing that far forward. But I match my team's aggression. I'm always playing so-and-so meters away whenever I can and paying attention to cooldowns so that I know when that Doomfist can be aggressive. I'm thinking, okay, that far out should rocket me, so make sure she doesn't. I hear Doomfist. Another thing I've been getting better at with Zenyatta, it's taken me a long time because it's hard to beat muscle memory, is I've been getting better with Discord timing. So like I'm sometimes a lot more patient with when I Discord things. I'm not Discording things the second that I see them. Like right there, it'd be really easy to Discord Doomfist, but he's not committing and he's not going to commit. He's just going to AFK. Like even there, don't want to Discord, don't want to Discord, don't want to Discord, don't want to Discord. That Discord's whatever, just more to discourage her. She's not going to commit anyway. But now I've already heard block. This Discord really freaking tilts the Doomfist because he doesn't have block. And so that's a lot of extra damage. You see that right there? That's because he's actually committed and he didn't have block. So he's really mad about that Discord. And now he just can't push. And so now I can ego that angle. So not only with Kiriko dead, but also Doomfist cooldowns and my Venture pressing, I rotate to match. This is why I said King's Row is like a pretty good Zen's map. But a lot of these points, there's like a lot of things you can do. Again, I'm not discording Doom, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't mind the Discord cooldown. It does feel a little clunky, but I will say that it does make me think about Discord more than I ever used to. So I initially wasn't a fan because I think it ruins fluidity. But there is an element of strategy that was there that wasn't before. So I've grown to appreciate it. I've grown to appreciate it because there is a skill issue of when you actually Discord tank and when you actually Discord 1v1s. It's less about who and more about when with Discord. Because who is just like who you're shooting most of the time. You don't really think about it too much, but it's very much a when thing. And like even on like Tracer 1v1s, like early Discording a Tracer when she's like going to use a lot of cover on you, then just kind of automatically puts you at a disadvantage because it's not just about the damage breakpoints. It's actually more about the wall hacks that the Discord gives you in those 1v1s. So if you burn your wall hacks when they're 30 meters away and then she blink closes the gap, you're fricked because your only advantage in that 1v1 is your silence and your wall hacks. So So much so that a lot of times with Zenyatta versus Tracer, you don't charge right clicks at all. You just go blind. You go completely naked, just because being quiet is way more important. It's like having a crosshair advantage in a Widow duel. 10% lifesteal feels a bit useless unless you're shooting a tank. Yeah, and the irony with that is you can get some okay healing. Like you could probably get like 50, 60 healing out of it, 70 healing eventually. But the problem is those situations, you're probably not taking very much damage anyway if you're shooting a tank. And if you need healing, you should be shooting what's shooting you. The only situations that would ever even foreseeably be useful is in a 1v1 versus a tank in close range, which is like so rare, and then also you're probably dead anyway. But yeah, it's just not a good perk, sadly. Anyway, any questions that I missed? Important questions before we start doing some map stuff? I'm gonna stop there, I think. Take care, Hindo. Have a good rest of your day, mate. It was a pleasure. It's important to have hero mains that foil each other well. Yes and no. I'm kind of demonstrating right now that the answer is no. But it's important. No, I'm demonstrating that it's possible not to. But again, I want to highlight the fact that I don't know the exact stats, but I think my King of the Hill win percentage is probably under 40%. So yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is. Like, I'm quite certain that my King of the Hill win percentage is under 40%. And if it's not, it's being carried by Antarctic and Samoa, I think. I think it's being carried by Antarctic and Samoa. Or Busan, or something like that. Like, there are at least half a dozen maps where I go in and I'm like, well, sorry, team. How often do you work out? I go to the gym 2 times a week. I was going to get parallettes for home workout. I train pretty hard 2 or 3 times per week, pretty soft 1 or 2 times per week, and basically just core PT walking activity 1 or 2 times per week. I only really train hard a few times per week, but I used to train a little bit harder more often. And also I've been doing this I've been lifting weights or doing some sort of fitness training for like 15 years. So Rialto New Queen Series like 35%. Yeah. Rialto confuses me, Lukigo. I don't think that's the worst junk map, but maybe it is. Gonzo, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. But anyway, after Roadhog Life Heroes Summer, what are the heroes do you think may get some changes? I have no idea. Because, like, my list is really long. I would like to see little tweaks to Diva. I'd love to see tweaks to Zarya. I'd love to see tweaks to Orisa. I'd love to see tweaks to, I don't know, Domino. We've talked about that already. Tweaks to Ram. They're all a gradient. Like, I think Ram probably needs it more than, say, I don't know. I mean, Doomfist even, you know? Krista, can you ask the question again? I'm sorry. Be Styro Pyro brother? I've been told that. Who's Styro's Pyro's brother? Who's Styro Pyro? Oh, yes, I have been told this before. We even have a very similar build. My wife did a double take the other day. Somebody sent us a picture, and I was like, it is a little bit uncanny. The hair, yeah, everything. His testosterone's higher than mine, though, is what I've heard. Although, you guys want to hear a really funny story? So, classic teenager stuff. Went to a doctor when I was like a teenager. The guy was honestly so unprofessional. It was like dropping F-bombs in front of my mom. She was horrified. I did blood work, and he was like, oh yeah, testosterone count? This is a humble brag, by the way. It's off the charts. You know, like, we only usually see this from like criminals and crap. He didn't say crap. And my mom was like, Which I was like, yeah, you know, but also like, yeah, straight up just was like, yeah, we only see this like from criminals. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting way of putting it. Hello, Lyradox. Appreciate it. How to keep track of my team when I am flanking and I am tunneled and hitting shots as Hanzo. Pre-fight. It's pre-fight. Losing people mid-fight. Like, I kind of gave a little bit of a demonstration there of being aware of your teammate's position mid-fight with Zenyatta, but it is easier with support because generally the way that you're positioned is generally like right behind a DPS or like angling. Not always, but like it and Hanzo is a little bit more aim reliant than Zenyatta. So if you're like really locked in your mechanics mid-fight, then like that's totally fine. I would say really focus before the fight starts or as the fight's starting and like being aware of your teammates. And then if you lose the mid-fight, that's okay. It's something to work on. Maybe find time between CDs or between inductions on your arrows to take a quick look. But yeah. How much crime do you do in your free time? Just curious. No way I missed Benadryl break earlier. Yeah, they weren't doing so well. They didn't play so well. They weren't a menace on the Brigitte. Or they were not menacing on Brigitte. They were kind of struggling on other heroes. It's like the time I think about Joe Burrow when a high school psychologist said he possesses the calmness in high pressure situations that you would see in serial killers. Yeah, but yeah. All right, I'm gonna ping my Discord and we'll do Wait, do you guys see the horse meme Pepper sent me? Off this, it's got like the filter on it. Wait, I gotta show you guys this. So I pinged my Discord on it, right? And then Queenie, you guys know Queenie? She was like, I gotta Spyloify it, so she Spyloified it. Cheers, Krista. That was pretty funny. All right, let's Flashpoint. Wait, what is the next map that we're doing? Is it Flashpoint or Push? Do you think 1,000 DPI 7.5 cents is too high? Depends on your hero. I don't think it's that high. Could be worse. Oh, we're doing Push. Push map tier list. Then Pugs. It's not that high. It's not that bad. Could be worse for sure. I'm just gonna... Okay, so I'm just gonna do this no context. We were playing code names with friends of mine, and I had this picture of... Okay, anyway, I'm just gonna no context, just a complete non sequitur picture to see if anybody... My sleep paralysis and demon horse. Hey man, watching this while driving, love the stream support. Cheers, Creamy. Safe travels. I think Push is probably my favorite. I don't know if it's my favorite game mode, because I actually do think it has its issues. I don't know if there is a perfect way to like... Alright, get down. Alright, get down. Like, I don't know. Like, would I ever have something not negative to say about an objective? I don't know. You know, like, I don't think... I try to, like, some are definitely worse than others, I think. So, like, what's up, Nautilin? I think, let me update stream title really fast. Push maps. Do a little trolling. The big problem with Push, so as I already mentioned about the King of the Hill snowballing, how King of the Hill is way more snowbally than Push. So like the good news is that first fight doesn't matter that much, but the irony is that actually it's really easy to snowball in the opposite direction. I think it's probably up there with like Hybrid Escort in terms of like how easy it is to like attacker's advantage or whatever you want to call it. How easy it is to like lose an advantage. Like you can be up, because here's the problem with Push. Oh, I need to pull up Overwatch. The problem with Push is that you can have like 130 meters push or 120 meters push. The enemy team is 20. And then you get down to like OT situations. And the way that overtime spawns work is you just inherently get more meters pushed when OT spawns are at play, basically. So in other words, you might get 30 meters instead of 25, or that's actually usually a lot more than that. Actually, it's probably closer to 30 versus 20. It feels like 30-40% more push per fight win because of OT spawns. And then even respawns can kind of, depending on the timing of things, right? Like you can lose people, but then you just got the point captured in like OT, and so your players actually get there just as fast Avril theory, right? Like I think Avril theory certainly in ranked has been disproven. I mean, it's more of like kind of a joke. It's not a joke. It's more of like a it's more of like an observation. But I do think that Avril theory is like not correct. Given the fact that like of how, even if it's 100 meters, okay, fine, 100 meters, like 100 meters, 100 meters. Like guys, imagine having that large of an advantage in any other game mode, right? Like even in Escort Hybrid, if going from 1 minute to like 5 minute time pool, right? Or like you've just won the previous round of Koth and you're 99% to 0 in the next one, you know? But it just, that lead, basically in push, the leads just matter a lot less because the way that OT just means you can push so much more. Like again, for context, how many fights does it take to get from neutral all the way to cap, right? It might take 4 or 5 fights, right? With the defender's advantage continually increasing and increasing and increasing. But you flip that to where OT spawns and we're going from 4 to 5 to 3 to 4, right? That's a massive percentage decrease, massive percentage decrease. So the problem with push for me is that I do think it's a little bit too easy to lose an advantage. And this is like frequently something you have to be aware of. Yeah, so you have to be really, really, really careful. And I think that's my biggest problem with push. That being aside, things I like about push are things that maybe not everybody likes about push, but things that I do like about push. I like the way that the objective moves. I like the fact that you're forced to move about dynamically in a similar way to hybrid escort. In other words, you know, the fight locations are not set in stone. But what I like better than hybrid escort, and this is more of a map thing, is that there is more dynamism with where fights are taking place because I think the map design of push is a little bit better. It can still be a little bit choke occasionally here, or high ground's just too OP here, but you generally see more variety with where fights are taking place and push than you do in escort hybrid. Because even though escort hybrid, especially escort obviously, do have a dynamically moving objective, escort hybrid are more older map designs where you just need to hold this spot. And so with push, you know, you can see, this is just an example. You'll see fights here. You'll see fights on the floor here. You'll see fights taken on the high ground. You'll see fights taken on this point here. You'll see fights taken on this corner here. You'll see fights taken on this corner here. You'll see fights taken, right? So there's just like basically every step of the way, there's like a reasonable choke, sightline, or high ground or angle to use. And with escort hybrid, you could probably take this exact same amount of space on my screen and you might see 2 normal fight locations or 3 rather than 5 or 6. So it's like one of those things where it's like, I just think that in general, it is a much more interesting game mode in terms of dynamic positioning because the maps are better designed. So you're not forced to fight on the same spot. The other thing about that, to complement that, is generally when you talk about moving objective and moving fight locations, that means that generally we reward speed and mobility. Like speed and mobility are like absolutely broken. The thing that makes push, I think, interesting is the fact that the maps, if you look at them in a vacuum, are mostly poke maps. It's actually mostly poke maps. Like Colosseo is a good example, but New Queen Street, Runasapi, Esperanza, like most of these maps are actually more open. Most of the maps are more open here. So like you have a game mode where the objective and then the way that the fight locations work favor mobility, speed, and just the ability to move around. Heck, even being able to anchor point is pretty useful in push and hold chokes, brawl tanks and such. But poke heroes just feel better in the map. They just feel better in the map. So from my anecdotal experience, I think push might be the most flexible game mode in the game when it comes to hero selection. Escort hybrid heavily favors range and static. You hold in the same kind of predictable areas. King of the Hill and Flashpoint heavily favor brawl, speed, mobility. And push is just like, you run whatever you want. You can play whatever you want. So not only is there dynamism with where the fights are taking place, so mobility is good, but also these sight lines are pretty freaking good no matter where you take fights. So you can play Ana, Zen, Widow, Hanzo, anything you want, basically. Yeah, you can run anything. So I don't know. That's why I like push the most. That's why generally I like the push game modes. It's not just the way the objective works. I've already explained like there are some downsides to that, but I like the fact that it feels like almost everything is viable, and I rarely feel cheated out of push. I really feel cheated. Now I understand why people may not always like it. The moving objective can be a little confusing, and like I said, it can snowball in the opposite direction if you screw it up. But yeah, I don't know. It's good. I have fewer complaints about it. And I do think that the map itself, the map reworks and the map design have been strong points. And so whatever you think about the objective thing, the fact that Colosseo, and we're going to start with this, has just so many things to do, right? Like, so I'm going to go ahead and move over to my tier list here. I'm going to immediately think I'm going to put Colosseo in A, top of A. It's an A tier map. It's a good map. It's a freaking good map. It's maybe the best map that we've reviewed yet, because it does, I think, Push has fewer inherent issues than King of the Hill. I don't really have any major complaints with Samoa either, but I do think that Push is a better game mode, a more balanced game mode than King of the Hill. They removed the glass, so there's actual viable fights here. I do think that this could be a little bit awkward still. I think that like this hunk of stone is a little, basically to peak this angle requires pretty much a pretty big commitment. So there are situations where I'm a little bit scared to swing wide on this position, and these angles can take a little bit long to play. But honestly, it's more of a nitpick than anything else. Excuse me. And beyond that, you follow the 3-lane theory pretty consistently. I wouldn't mind having maybe a little bit more accessibility to this high ground infrequently. Like having an inconvenient way maybe to access one of these windows here. I wouldn't say a jump pad necessarily, that might make it too easy. But like just having a way to get to the high ground that isn't going through here or isn't going through the staircase and the flank there. And then I think that's basically it. I think beyond that, I think it's basically perfect from that point there. My only complaint is how sometimes first fight can still feel a little bit awkward, although it's way better. And then how this fight here can feel a little bit too defenders favored. Now, I say that with the small caveat that perhaps if they did that, it would mean too many full caps. As Nodlin said, second fight is really important in Push because it's what generally gives you a spawn advantage and gets the push spot out of the open. There's a consistent theme with Push where that second fight can be where defender's advantage can feel like the strongest almost. Yeah, so maybe that's something that, like I said, maybe it just needs to be an additional way that's still not great, but doesn't feel completely awful. But I don't know if that's even a good idea. That's what would make the map feel better for me, but maybe that would make the mode worse. So I don't know. It's like that 2 CP problem where it's like you don't want to remove defender's advantage too much. But that being said, again, it's not impossible, right? Like you can still play open sight lines, you can still force the cart, you can rotate to safety underneath here. You do have several ways to access high ground, especially if you're flanker. And if you aren't a flanker, again, you have sight lines here that are really, really good. Yeah, I mean, that's mostly it. I think everything else about this map is relatively okay. There's downsides, there's upsides, but there's always options. And I do enjoy the flexibility this map provides. Again, I just like the fact that nothing really ever feels bad about this map. And this section of the map here is actually, if you put the legwork into it, it really doesn't matter what hero you play. This is really nice. Support, flanker, hit scan, tank. I really enjoy when necessary. This side of the map is like a really, really big deal for defenders. Yeah. I think this is a pretty good map. Like I said, I would be curious to see if attackers or win rate would go up too much by making this high ground a little bit more accessible, just a little bit. I never know where to be as a low mobility support here. Yeah, it can be challenging. Basically, your answers lie in the extremes. Hold a sight line, very passive, very wide, and just be patient, or get your gird your loins, twin, and just get flanking. And be very quiet. Basically, that's your kind of your choice. But both can be viable, right? I've had situations where like I'll play super passive here as Ana. I've had situations where I know we're gonna get stuck, and I'm on Ana, and I'm flanking, and I'm listening, and I'm flanking, and I'm listening, and I'm flanking. You guys have seen it, right? I'll go all the way here. I'll sit quiet. I'll chuck an 8 to pop a couple of shots, disengage. And help my DPS if I can. And usually it's the defenders are still advantaged, but I give myself a chance. Maybe my last critique of Push, which I don't think is necessarily solvable, but it's definitely something that feels bad about the game mode. Push has the second longest run back of almost any other mode in certain situations. Let me give you guys an example. I'm on it here. I died before my team got good spawn. This distance from here, and I'm not going to even move my camera actually, frick it. I'm going to do it because it's going to emphasize. Rotating from that spawn room all the way to a fight location that is here is brutal. Can we actually test that really fast? Can we test that? Can somebody in chat time this for me, please? I don't really feel like starting the game mode. Can somebody time this for me? Let me know when you guys are ready. If anyone has a stopwatch, that would be great. Or just anything, or a phone or anything. Just let me know. Can be multiple of you, I don't care. Okay, you guys ready? No, stop, Anderson. Stop, stop. I need a volunteer. Come on, guys. Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I'm gonna go as fast as I can. And I'm gonna go a way that not every support might go. Because I'm gonna take the fastest route back to the fight, even if it's high risk. So I would normally go here. And then because of the amount of time, I'm going to go right to here and cut out to this flank here. Right, stop, now. How long was that? I don't think it's quite King's Row rotation level, but yeah, it's close. 27, 26. Yeah, so it's not quite as bad as Hybrid or Escort at their worst, right? Those maps are slightly worse by a few seconds, but it's pushing it. Right? It's pushing it. And I'm wondering, is Runasapi worse? Runasapi might actually be worse, or New Queen Street might be worse. Remind me to time those later. So that's my big frustration, but I don't know how easily that is to solve. But I can understand people disliking that. So anyway, we'll move on, and we'll move to a different map. Because there's like, oh, you could definitely solve that. Again, there's so many easy ways to solve it. Add a speed boost only when you're bad spawned. Allow you to simply teleport from bad spawn to good spawn, right? That's probably the easiest way to do it, right? Change spawn rooms. But would that be too OP? Would that be too OP? Check forward spawn too or no? It's going to be shorter. It's going to be 7 or 8 seconds shorter most likely. So it's whatever. So I don't know. That would be my suggestion. Any map designers in the future looking at this, I would wonder if just simply being able to swap spawn rooms would that be too broken? You know, okay. Let's move on to what is our next push map here. Let me look at my tier list here. Esperanza. Probably butchering that one. Sorry, guys. I really like this map too. I might like this one as much as Colosseo, I think. It's good. I know it's intentional. No, I know it's intentional, Anderson. Yeah. I remember bringing this up to somebody at some point in time, but it's more along the lines of like, is that part of the reason why push isn't liked and is it doable? So I do like Esperanza. I have a really hard time judging them push maps together because like they all feel like pretty evenly good. We're kind of the recent reworks in this tier list. Yes. Yes. Wherever the map state is right now at this point in time, May 2026. Is where it's at. So let's take a quick look at Esperanza. Same things apply. We'll check the run back. I feel like Esperanza is one of the shorter run backs. So let's actually test that before we do anything else. Is S tier reserved for Suravasa only? I don't know if we're gonna have an S tier, so I'm probably gonna have to reposition. Okay, ready goes. Oh wait, I need to reset. Whoops. It's just for Colosseo with the glass. Okay, I need a timer. Can anybody help me? You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, bonk. What this means clearly is that Zenyatta and Ana need a dash. With a heal and a boop. Where you initially pressed it. Oh, I don't know, man. This might be a while. Surely going towards the mega side isn't faster, right? I'm really trying to cut corners here. Like, maybe not like go extreme. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Now, if you were playing on the like all the way up, you could just rotate to mega and it'd be about the same. 36. Ooh. I knew it one felt along. Okay, well. So that, if you cut corners there, maybe you can cut it down to 34 or 33 if you're better than I am. But like, again, like average players not even going to put as much effort in as I am. That's a long walk back. That's a long walk back. So, okay. All right, let's talk about Esperanza. Same things apply with push, the dynamic moving of the map, and the fact that it's a more poke-focused map with more mobility rewarded objective. You normally have forward spawn for that fight? No. No, because remember, we're talking about those situations which do happen frequently where you die where the robot's here, and then you respawn as the robot's moving, and then your team has pushed the robot all the way up to, I mean, it could be all the way up to here. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happens, I would say, very frequently. Like, it's not an outlier. That happens all the time. Yeah. Yeah. So that happens all the time in push. You know, all the time. Where you get a bad spawn with where the fight is going. Yeah, Megacide is faster, I think. You might be right. But I would be shocked if Megacide shaved off more than 5 seconds there. Okay. I have few critiques of this map. I do think that's can be a little tricky to take space on this side. It follows the 3-lane rule quite well. Like there's 1, 2, 3, and it's really easy also to rotate this way. But sometimes these rotations feel a little bit hostile. Like maybe if there was a way to like blow a hole. So as a support player, I can easily rotate into this room here and then control this angle here. And maybe I would start to think a lot more carefully about how I want to position this map. It feels a little bit like you just go high ground, you kind of AFK, because those rotations don't feel super good on this first fight. Most of it is just like, you just kind of stand there, right? And hope that like this pressure is enough. Like even if you've been high ground, there's oftentimes very few ways to carry the fight with your positioning if you're not a flanker. So I would like to see maybe either some covers here or an easier rotate into this building so that this area of the map becomes a little bit more relevant. I don't think it's bad. It's just not, it's kind of like that Colosseo first fight where it just feels like some of the side space feels not as comfortable as I would like, or it feels too flanker only, right? Or like you have to have a character with more mobility to even utilize this side of the map, when I just don't think it should be the case. Amount doors that cost your cooldowns to activate, that would be funny. I spent my anti-nade to get a better position. Little high ground near the bot, yeah, I mean, it's pointless, but I don't know how you would fix that. I don't necessarily want that to be any stronger, though, because I could just see Mercy damage boost with the hit scan here, and I just, like, yeah. Beyond that, I don't know. Do I have any major complaints with this? This high ground's good. It's also notably relatively easy to get to contest this high ground, because you can contest from this rotation here, which this piece of cover is really important. And it's also pretty easy to contest from this position here. And then pushing cart's a little bit exposed. I don't know. This area of the map seems okay. Yeah, the Mega's good too. The Mega's very important. Again, pushing robots always a little bit vulnerable. This rotation here can be awkward for attackers, but again, I don't necessarily mind that. I think the way East Bronze makes like attackers have like little minor... The one unique thing here is that I do think that this is probably the easiest second fight to win out of all the push maps for attackers. Because you actually in many ways have a positional advantage rather than a positional disadvantage, which is definitely a unique take. But as I kind of said, I don't think that you're really much of a disadvantage because you do have the multiple windows here, and then they have to push cart. So in a way, maybe that is a flaw of the map, is that it is very easy to win 2 fights in a row here. Take care, Lukaku. Sleep well, mate. So it's like, all right, well, yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like an attacker's advantage rather than a defender's advantage, which is kind of strange. Now, that being said, turning the corner here could be pretty cringe. Pretty difficult because the defenders can easily get set up on a pretty powerful high ground on third. Whereas with Colosseo, the third fight advantage kind of falls off once they turn that corner. So that's maybe kind of the way to compensate. And there is a lot of ways for attackers to still find ways to get around here. I don't know. Do I have any like major criticisms of this? I don't really think so. This area of the map also can feel awkward, but there are options. I think maybe this is the most difficult portion of the map for attackers, like right here, and then actually obviously finishing it because they can literally sit and spawn and shoot you. But I think that's maybe my biggest complaint here is that, like, but again, it does feel like at some point the defender's advantage has to escalate, and it does so in a way that doesn't feel completely unstoppable. Maybe it's just a little bit like maybe it's just a little bit exclusionary to characters that don't have hypermobility. Like being stuck here as a poke character means that you're, I don't know, but see, you can just hold high ground here and just poke the cart. Like, this is still a fine angle for an Ashe or a Cass or something, or an Ana. Like, you don't have to force a deep flank here. So it's, like, fine. The only time you really need to force in angles when you get to here, and you do have angles. Like, I think that's part of the reason why that this wall is here, is because it doesn't give attackers the 3-lane theory perfectly. It favors the defender's ability to retake that space. But also at the same time, is that even the case? Because if you think about it, defenders actually have no flank to take. They actually have to walk forward here. So maybe my feedback here would be like, if this map becomes too easy to cap, then maybe they just need to open the doors here. Like this needs to be something that defenders can actually utilize to access this space, because this feels like kind of goofy. And right, like this whole room here is like, what's the point of this room if there's not even a health back in here? So little nitpicks, like which I would need to turn these from nitpicks into criticisms. I need to know more map statistics, which I don't have. This feels a little bit more functional, but yeah, I do agree. It does feel a little oddly large. You rarely want to go here, and they could probably cut off some space here. Yeah. Yeah, the mini just being way over there is just comedy gold. Like, it's not here. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. So, why the door on the outside but not in? Yeah. Oh, actually, good point. Yeah, dude, actually, this game is unplayable. Dude, that's actually such a weird oversight. Actually, you know what? That's kind of a big deal. You never see Overwatch making these mistakes. Look at that. When's the last time you've seen Overwatch make an egregious mistake like that? Dude, wait, where's the window height? Wait. Dude, hang on. Map designers? Hello? I'm like measuring the dimensions here. I feel like there's like a secret. That's wild, bro. You never see that in Overwatch. Wait, what about this side? Bro! On this building too? Oh my gosh, my third eye. It's been opened. Wait, how do you even get to this level? How do you even get to that level, bro? Like, we got the wine cellar, but like, hang on a second. Is there even any way to get to there? Okay, actually, maybe that's the way. You open one of these doors and go. But hang on. Literally just cosmetic. Anyway, good map. Good. It's a solid map. It's a good map. Frick, man. I don't know. This, like I said, this flank would feel, I think, a little bit less hostile if it wasn't like the reason why I think this flank feels so. Remember what the rule I said? If there aren't enough angles or flanks available, the one that is available being a little bit tough always feels really bad. I think that's kind of the case here with first fight, right? Like, because it's really hard to take space in the side, it's a little bit naked, and that this rotation here is a little awkward because there's no like hole. Everybody just kind of fixates on this flank a lot of time with retaking space, and it just feels like, ugh, you know. But I don't really think it's that bad. It's okay if we have a brawl focused angle, if there are other options available, you know. It's called a facade for a reason. Yeah, I think we've done it many times. Maybe you're right. Now I'm just wondering, am I the only one who gets like theme park bathroom vibes from this, like the little alcove, you know, the stone? I can almost smell the hand soap or the urinal sponges or one or the other. Ugh. Okay, moving on. What's next? New Queen Street. I like New Queen Street. It's like all the same tier. They're all like kind of interchangeable. I have one problem with New Queen Street. One problem with New Queen Street. Can you guess what that problem is? There's really one section of the map that's, I think, a little bit awkward. And I don't know if it's necessarily fixable. There's no problem, old man? All right, my bad. Poor taste. It's this section of the map, I think, right here that bothers me. I don't think it's very well executed. I understand that you want to have the defender's advantage of this high ground, right? And I think that's totally fine. And I think it's totally fine also that the one flank that you have is like super uncomfortable and awkward, like that. We talked about that. But this doesn't seem like a viable option. And here's the real banger, okay? Real banger, okay? Don't say, oh, but attackers like need to not have an option. Defenders don't freaking use this angle either. Defenders don't use this angle either. So it's not really, it's wasted space that should be valuable for both defense and offense. Nobody fights here. In fact, half of you, I mean, how many times have you guys actually exited the spawn room on this side? Right? I mean, technically, it actually does save you some time situationally, but this whole building here is a complete clanker. Or clunker. Sorry, didn't mean to drop a slur. But, like, it's just, it might as well not really exist. And I would love, I don't know what I would do to adjust that. You can maybe drop, like, a door here. You could maybe drop, like, a door here. I don't know if you could throw a health pack in here. Maybe, like, I don't really know. Like, open up these chokes. Maybe more, have, like, more... like open up this window here so like you could take a flank. It's just also like from a defender's perspective, like you have to go so far out of your way to utilize this flank and isolate yourself so much, you know? Like I feel like maybe I would be like, okay, maybe there needs to be the door here instead and it opens up to here so you can flank the attackers from this perspective and then the attackers can do the same thing to you. But it just feels like such a long way out of the way. Putting on Ramacha's list, yeah. I just don't like it. Like this one is also a little awkward, but it is usable, and I think the same thing like I unironically see this section of the map utilized more than this building. Like this section I find more, you know, right? And again, it's because it's both not worth it as an attacker and a defender. And I also would just like to see a staircase here. You know, it's fine. Like there's no reason for there to be a mini health pack over here that nobody wants to use because you can't get back. So just wasted space, unfortunately. Beyond that, I think it's relatively okay. Again, poke favored, but mobility pilled. There are almost always options. I don't mind the high ground here being inaccessible unless you rotate because you can access it from both sides. Cart area feels cluttered. High ground feels open, but there are still rotational options. Defender's advantage slowly squeezes you out, but it doesn't ever feel like completely useless. This area of the room is really important. There's good options here. It's actually it's funny because like we look at a lot of these maps that like good maps and there's like a lot of stuff going on. I think New Queen Street is probably the simplest push map that we have. Very pared down, very bare bones, but it does a decent job at what it does. And especially now that they've removed a lot of like the stall areas that are kind of cringe. Like I said, my only real complaint is I would like this to not necessarily be more complicated, but to be actually more functional. And then I'd have few critiques of this map. Few critiques of this map. It's a good map. It's a good map. I do enjoy playing this map on my hero pool. I enjoy playing this map on a lot of heroes. And then we'll finish off with Runasapi here. Which, I don't know why. I don't like this map very much. I don't dislike playing it. And I love the aesthetic on paper, but something about it just, I don't like it. I don't know why. So it's still going to make, I think it's still going to be an A tier map for me. For sure. Like, I just think objectively, like, I do enjoy the game, but it's played, but something about it just rubs me the wrong way, and I don't know why. I might drop it to B tier if I can figure out why. Something about it, like, it's like I get like a, ugh, when I see it, you know, like, ugh. I don't know why. It doesn't feel plain. I mean, look at this. It's a gorgeous map, right? Like, is this Peru, I think? I think it's Peru. I don't think first fight's that bad. You have a lot of options. You can play this room here. This area over here is really good. This is also really good. And you can do all sorts of, like, there's all sorts of angle options. You know, slow supports. Yeah, it's Peru. Slow supports being able to jump up here is awesome. Like, I really think it has, like, a really solid first fight. I'm trying to think here. Now I gotta peruse around and find out what I don't like. Maybe this is too compressed. Like, maybe there's too many fights that are forced into this space here. Like, okay, maybe this is something I don't like. Is like how this feels like can feel a little bit difficult to take space on, right? This corner feels really hard to break because this just kind of feels like a dead end, right? Rather than naturally connecting with this, right? And if they did that, then it would be easier to turn the corner here. But then I think once you turn the corner, this feels like completely naked. So it's like very compressed and awkward to get out of here, and then wildly naked and exposed here. So maybe those two extremes are the reason why I dislike it. Because I think whether it's why I dislike it or not, I do think that those things are probably not great. Like, this is really, really difficult to break, and then you get to here, and then, like, hit scan on high ground. Like, your options are, like, really far flank, which takes a lot of mobility, and that's it. Like that's basically it. Like you or literally, I mean, you guys have seen me play on it. I literally will flank here and hide, and like it doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel good. So I think like this area of the map might be where I don't like it. Very choke, and honestly, it kind of flips too. Like once you get to here, it can be very difficult for defenders to find a good sightline on you here, right? Like I don't like how a lot of fights feel solved based off of a fight here or an open fight here. Like there's just, those small rooms feel very awkward for me. This area of the map is good, like it's useful. Maybe this is a little underutilized, a little bit difficult to utilize. And I think this is relatively okay. My hot take, not my hot take, but my take here is I think this is probably one of the best ending spots for push, right? There feels like there's lots of options for defenders to kind of recontest the space. This lane is really important if you can take it. I think it's pretty solid. And I actually even like the fact that this is here. Like this is utilized. It's not very often utilized, but you can utilize it. It's all right. But I don't know. It's this complete, just open wide, this rotation here. I mean, even the fact that this doesn't connect to the mega health bag just seems a little awkward. Like this little alcove just seems so purposeless. Like, again, if this was escort or hybrid, having a very powerful corner with a health pack to just sit on would be good. But this kind of stuff doesn't work very well in push. It's very bad to have a position that is basically you're stuck, because the way the game mode works is just a lot more movement. And I think that that's maybe my big problem here. Never noticed there's a bus stop. Yeah. Frankly, I didn't either. So. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about... bottom of A tier, maybe? I don't know. It feels so hard to put it into B tier. We'll leave it on top of A tier for now, because I do think we're going to need to reshuffle some maps, because like S tier being by itself doesn't feel like it follows the bell curve here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to need to bump a couple F tier maps up. We're going to need to bump the A tier probably into S tier and then shift stuff around. We'll revisit that one later. Okay, I guess that's it. Well, we'll do push next stream most likely, and then we will be done. Well, we have Pug soon, so I don't know if I feel like doing. Do I feel like doing push? Frick it. We'll do Flashpoint. We'll frick it. Probably top of B. Well, I was already in the border about doing it. Yeah, I was probably top of B or bottom of A. I think it's the second best Flashpoint. Frick. We'll do bottom of A. I like Atlas all right. And I do think it's one of the more it's more flexible than some of the other ones. It's all right. It's good. It's good. Bottom of A tier is good. It's solid. So let's talk about Flashpoint really fast, and then I got to pee before we actually like properly grade it. So let's talk about the upsides and downsides of Flashpoint. So upsides, it's again dynamic fighting locations, which I have a bias towards. I understand that that's both a downside and upside, but it's kind of a neutral point, I guess. We can start with where it means that fight locations are oftentimes not set in stone, which means it's much more interesting for me as a strategical player and a strategical coach. Okay. Downside is it can be a little confusing. With where to go, where points are unlocked. Sometimes those cues can be a little bit difficult to read. Because it is Flashpoint as well, sometimes the game can go by a little quickly. Now it is definitely slower than King of the Hill. So even if you get 100-0, 3 points in a row, you will, especially because the round doesn't arbitrarily split the thing in between, you will build ultimates. You will have chances to win fights. I don't know exactly. I feel like if you got literally destroyed, you would still build maybe 2 ults. Maybe. Like, it would be a rare game, no matter how bad it goes, to not be able to build 2 ultimates. Which, compared to King of the Hill, where there is a very, very real chance that if it goes very badly, you don't build 1 ult. Because you didn't build it the first round, it resets, and you don't build it the second round. And that also applies to perks as well, which is nice. So I think that they have done a better job using visual color cues, if you guys haven't noticed, to signify purple, blue, orange, deeper blue, lighter blue, right? But I do still understand the criticism that sometimes the visuals in the map can be a little vague. I think it's gotten better, but it is definitely like you can lose yourself in this map a little bit. It can be a little bit more maze-like and a little bit more monotone maps. I think can sometimes confuse you a little bit. It definitely favors certain comps over others. Flashpoint inherently will favor speed and mobility. The good news about, I think, Flashpoint compared to King of the Hill is that you have more time to set up in positions. And like King of the Hill, there are still several points that are relatively friendly to open sight lanes if you can get set up. The other good thing about Flashpoint is they've done a better job with respawn adjustments, like changing where respawn so you're not walking back as long. I've already tested this theory many times, but the walkbacks from Flashpoint are generally much, much faster than they are from Escort Hybrid or even Push. Now, to be fair, walking back is much more punishing on a game mode that is a lot faster. That being said, when it comes down to just objective uptime and downtime, you generally have a lot less. And one of the cool things about Atlas that they learned is they learned about layering spawns. So that instead of having wasted rooms, right, they actually layered the spawn underneath so that you can actually use this room if you like for combat, but it allows them to place spawn rooms much more strategically without just having clutter. Last couple things with Flashpoint, they have the speed boost out of spawn, which favors non-mobile characters better, so you get back to fights faster. And they also did a good job of like actually spawning you at the front of the spawn room, so you don't have to walk all the way out of the spawn rooms as a whole. I like the dynamism of Flashpoint. I like how it moves around. I like the fact that it's best of 5, so that like you're actually able to have multiple opportunities to win fights. And I generally think the maps are relatively interesting and relatively good looking. I do think Atlas is probably the most drab of the few. It doesn't really feel like it has a stark identity, although I do appreciate its location and I do appreciate the music, but it does feel a little bit blue, purple, blasé. It feels like the Christopher Nolan filter has been applied to this map, and it's not my favorite visually. It doesn't really stand out that much. But yeah, I'm gonna pee real fast, and then we'll actually talk about this map particularly. Yeah, King of the Hill used to be best of 5 too. Yep. All right, I'm back. I did wash my hands very thoroughly. Well, I don't necessarily I would love to see the statistics on like staggering and splitting up too much, because I agree that Flashpoint can punish with that. But we talked about this when we were ranking Hybrid and Escort. But the nature of walkbacks and the way like cart works, I think Hybrid and Escort actually punish staggering a lot worse. Especially if we go to like the classic second point problems. Like where second point, of course they use soap. Like where second point for like Numbani, Blizzard World at times, Shambali, like you could just circuit even like things snowball so quickly on Escort and Hybrid. Like really badly. King's Row. And it's really bad too, because it's either like you didn't get the snowball rolling on Shambali, so now you're fricked as an attacker. Same thing with King's Row. Or as a defender, you didn't get your defensive advantage on Shambali second, and so now you're fricked as a defender because you didn't get it. So like Numbani is classic of like, I think Numbani is not that bad of a map, but people just don't take fights in second. Like it's over. Like you saw it today. Like as this is in like a GM lobby. Like I was like one of the lowest ranked players in there, and we just kind of used a lot of ults early on second, like as we got the card around the corner, and then they kind of staggered out for a little bit, and then by the time that they could recontest, the cart was basically already almost capped, and they I mean, to be fair, they took terrible space, but there was like that urgency. Oh, I have to rush and touch cart, and it was just too late. So I agree with you. I think many of the but it's hard to judge a game mode based off of that, which is why I wasn't too harsh off of push. And honestly, I'm actually not that against Escort Hybrid. If that is the case, Escort Hybrid, it sucks, but I don't think Escort Hybrid is inherently a bad game mode from that either. So, okay, so let's talk about Atlas. For the most part, I think the biggest criticism of Atlas from a game perspective is I think it's a little too cluttered at points. Like, I think that many of these points are relatively okay. I think this one is really solid. I think there are ways to it follows the 3-lane theory, like quite literally almost every single fight. Like there's basically nowhere that you can go that you cannot find a rotation, even if you're a relatively slow hero. It's very symmetrical. It's very inoffensive on many points and times. I also think they did a great job of actually feeling like every point feels quite different with both how the objective is placed. For me, it's less about whether the points feel different or not, about whether they're just a little bit too noisy. That I really have very few criticisms of the map from that perspective. I think maybe we could go like, man, I don't even know. Like I just have so few criticisms. Like, I don't know. This is okay. Like, I mean, the point is open, but every point feels dynamic and different. Fight locations are interesting. No real criticisms here. This rotation feels reasonable. This is definitely a more poke focused map, but a very relevant angle is very brawl focused, like very flanker focused. So like you have options here. I don't know. Like maybe my criticism of Atlas is maybe holding here as defenders is too OP. Like trying to retake us and attackers across this narrow bridge feels a little bit bad. Like maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's too exposed. You can technically drop and approach it from here. Maybe this choke just feels too OP to break. Maybe that's my big criticism. But again, there are options. Like there are like, I don't even know. Like there are options. Like one, you can flank all the way to here to 2, and there's distance. You get the same thing on the other side as well. And there's even a staircase to do it, so you don't need verticality. And heck, you can even go underneath. Like, you can force point, and it's not a total feed. There's a health back in here. I don't know, guys. Like, I think with Atlas, my criticisms are more on the more congested points, or just how cluttered they are. I think there's too much crap going on here that doesn't really need to be. Like, there's too many high grounds that aren't relevant, right? There's too many little corners and chokes that aren't relevant. This one is not too bad. I think my main criticism here is like how this high ground just doesn't really seem to matter all that much. And maybe the fact that this isn't accessible from both sides. I mean, if you really want to symmetrical the crap out of this map, I think the only point that I don't love is I think there's just maybe a little bit too much going on here. Like too many little buildings and rocks and corners. But like, it does make the map feel a little bit different. And I do feel like every time I play the map, I'm learning and trying different things. Like, how many of you guys even knew that this was an option here? right? That you could rotate all the way around through here. Maybe that needs to be motivated more with a health pack or something. And it is very confusing for sure. So for me, it's like, I think the way to like look at this is it's like my criticism of Atlas as a whole is that it is a little bit confusing. Even from my perspective, it can be very confusing for a newer player for sure. But it's like confusing in the fact that like, you could say that like Elden Ring's confusing. Like there's way too many systems that aren't explained that well. But like if you get in the swing of it, you're like, yeah, I kind of like all the options. But it depends on like what your selling point is. Maybe simplicity needs to be emphasized a little bit more here over having innumerable options. Because it can be difficult to maintain LOS and so on. So yeah, this map definitely has a learning curve that rewards spending time studying it. And it's not confusing for the sake of being confusing, but I would not be critical of if they simplified this map, especially some of these more compressed, like, streets phase. It feels like a... there was that Modern Warfare 2 mission, like the favela one, I think. And it just, like, it feels like very close quarters combat. And I don't know if that Overwatch is necessarily built for that, necessarily. I think the confusing part was not helped by its releasing the same patch that introduced map voting, so people voted the map out and never learned the layout. Yeah, that's true, Toppy. Yeah, I think they learned their lesson. I think Atlas is the reason why we have what they did with Antarctic. I think it absolutely is why they did that. They did that, exactly. I don't think it's a bad... I think, like, it's not necessarily a condemnation on the map. It was just bad timing to have map voting plus new thing is kind of complicated. Right. Am I going to make this a YouTube video? Yeah, we have all of the map tier list with all explanations. But again, I don't think I would want to take the personality away from this map either, because I really do feel like as attackers and defenders, you do have a lot of options. Even if it's just like a couple of different point fights, like you could fight in point, you could fight in this choke here, you could fight here. Like that's pretty good for a Flashpoint, having 2 or 3 fights locations, you know? I like Clash too. I think Clash as a game mode was terrible, but I actually think the Clash maps are pretty interesting. Like, especially some of those first point fights were actually pretty decent. Like, you could already tell, like, with Clash that the map team was getting way better at, like, understanding what makes maps work. It's just a shame that that game mode was kind of flawed. Okay, yeah, I don't know. So it's probably bottom of A tier, at least with our current placement, you know? I don't think it'll move into S tier, even if we shift things around, but it's all right. New Junk City. I'm going to give this one a B just off of vibes. I don't know why I dislike this map so much for a Flashpoint map. I don't hate it. Something about it just doesn't sit right in my craw. You know, it's like the Runasapi, where I just can't quite put my finger on it, and I'm going to try to put my finger on it here, try to like analyze exactly why I don't like it. But it's my least favorite Flashpoint map. I just don't like it. Let's find out why. So we've already talked all about Flashpoint as a whole. I definitely think there's a little bit of bias here where like I associate Atlas with the Flashpoint updates of like with the algorithm with how they move the points around and with fixing the respawns. So let's maybe talk about it. Clash and City misfiring benefits a lot from only being 3 points. Yeah. Okay, I'm starting to see why I don't like this map. It's very choky. It's not Nepal Village choky exactly, but it does not follow the 3-lane theory on first fight, like almost immediately. This is very brutal to break if you're not here quickly. This lane is fine, I guess, but it's unbelievably hostile to heroes that don't have high mobility. Like, case in point, your Tracer Genji, you're probably fine here, but anybody else just feels like really, really isolated and really cramped. And then ironically, the best way to get to the angle that isn't there is to go main and then go right, which every time I do that, now that I think about it, that always feels a little bit sketch. And yeah, you could just get killed doing that. You could just get killed doing that. And then your only other option is to go underneath, which is like you're there for like 6 years. And bro, do you guys remember when the staircase wasn't here? The staircase used to not be here. This was a massive improvement on this map, but it used to not be here. It used to even be worse. So they probably just need to make it so that this mini also has a door frame, and so that would immediately level this up. I mean, maybe they could make a little high ground that wraps around that you could use. But yeah, it's just very congested, compressed. It follows the 3-lane rule literally, but like it's like literally as in like I'm doing what you said, mom, but you're doing it as poorly as you possibly can. It's not good. And I think in Flashpoint especially, you need to give people options, and support players and poke players really do have a hard time getting out of this. And the game mode is already hostile to them as it is, but the fact that the map alone doesn't, remember what we said about push, right? Push can feel bad, but at least you have angles available to you. That the game mode and the map design are kind of contrasting. This one, it feels like on this point in particular, the game mode and the map style are against you. Yeah. And so, yeah, even though there are options, right, those options really just don't feel that good. And then because they just figured out the map respawn thing, it's just a bit awkward. So it's not great. And I think the first point being so offensive, it's not unplayable, but being like one of the weaker points in the map is not good, because this game mode, this should be like the best point, right? The most important to be even, because it's the first thing that people are going to interact with. First thing they're going to interact with. Okay, we'll keep moving on. They did do a rework of this map, and I definitely think it made it better, a lot more consistent, and they significantly improved the chokes. So they're going to get some points from that. I would drop this map even a little lower if it wasn't for that, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about bomb flats. So a little bit of color coding, you can kind of tell, which is fine, I guess. It's very junker pilled, I think, as well, which is probably people's aesthetical association definitely paints this map in a more negative light. This choke, I still feel like it's too compressed. I still feel like they've opened it a little bit, and this whole section here of like the cover and the rotations is like pretty good. Like it's pretty good. Like it's better than it used to be. I played this map not too long ago with freaking Zenyatta, which is awful, and I still felt like, okay, I've got options here. It still feels a little bit too naked. Not naked, but a little bit too difficult to rotate on. Again, it's really important to not have crap like this or these super long flanks on a map that already feels like you need speed as it is. I would open up this map. I would make something like a staircase that's accessible for the attackers here, so they can even take this angle, even if it's compressed. Like just even being able to take that flank would be nice. The fact that it's only accessible, I mean, guys, like you literally have to go all the way over here just to access it. That just means it's just not, like, most heroes are not gonna be able to use this, right? And that just seems unfair. That just seems really, really unfair when trying to retake this space. And while I like things like this, like this is cute, it's just not. Again, it's just, you're not using this if you're slow. You're just not using this. Like maybe this could like have a staircase that, like, I don't know, if my latency explodes, comes out to like here. Like maybe there's be a staircase that goes down and you can wrap around and flank behind. I don't know, like. Maybe make it worse, make it better, but it's not. It's too difficult to retake space on some of the points here. Too difficult to retake space on some of these points here, because the chokes and some of the defender advantage stuff is just too strong. This one is also better. Like this choke is way better than it used to be. I think this one is probably better than the previous one. This rotation definitely takes a little bit less time. You know, they do their best to kind of like not make it too easy, too obvious. And this has definitely had a big facelift. Like this is way more accessible and way more consistent side of the map. I actually think this map got a big glow up. So it's still very, very, very lots of things that get in the way of your sightlines here, which is like fine. But I think that they might have like, I don't know. Listen, I don't like Widow. You know, I don't like heroes like that. But I sometimes feel like we didn't have to go this far even. We didn't have to be that scared of an Ana or Zen or a Widow taking this sightline here, given what game mode that they're playing on. Like, maybe it doesn't have a sightline over everything, but the fact that you can literally see nothing until you walk to here, I mean, that just seems like maybe a little extreme. Again, this game mode is so heavily... I think they just overcooked. I think they overcooked and they made it still a little bit too hostile with solo heroes. What are your thoughts on the new Red Bull flavor? I don't drink Red Bull, sorry. I think Red Bull has good flavor, I don't drink it. But it sounds interesting. What even is the flavor of Red Bull? Like, what is that flavor? Like, what would you even call that? I don't know. But yeah. A lot of the rotations here can be confusing as well. Like, there's a lot of buildings with just blank walls, so you can get stuck. This is a spawn room, so I understand why it's that way, but I think if you think about like Suravasa compared to New Junk City, I think Suravasa has like a much easier rotational vision of like where you need to be going. And I think it's just because there's just blinding, glaring sunlight everywhere. You're not always very clear. Like this doesn't really stand out. Like that's just kind of a gray hunk of bronze, which is thematic, but it also doesn't really tell you that this is somewhere that you should be thinking about, right? It's the same coloring as the path to get to it. You see what I'm saying? Tastes like Smarties. You can take cocaine, but Automata doesn't like icicle a bull. Yeah. But yeah, I think this side of the map is a lot obviously like a lot more heavily color coded. But you can say like how this other side of the map just doesn't have that same level of color coding, given the orange aesthetic that just the map has. This map got a major glow up. The staircases that are available here, the ability to retake the high ground from here, and the amount of cover that you can have doing it, how much more forgiving the chokes are. This one also got a major glow up. So I think much better. It's still pretty punishing in terms of like rotations can still be difficult. I think maybe this rotation just simply takes too long trying to and also like my thing with health packs, guys, is I think health packs need to be used to motivate people to take flanks. Like putting a health pack here, is that a buff to Tracer? Yeah, sure. But Tracer also has the mobility to take any health pack that she wants here and or just use her regen and not really worry about it. But if I'm playing a slower character and I take the flank, I wonder, there has to be some sort of like science or math behind like, or strategy behind like, does a health pack on an angle like this, is that a buff or a debuff for like non-flanker heroes? I don't know. I feel like it has to be a buff to flankers, but the way I look at it is it's like, I don't know, man. They're going to take the flank anyway. Like, you're going to take the flank anyway, you know? So it's like, at least if I'm here as an on and I have a mini health pack, I have a chance, you know? Like, I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, this one got a major glow up. And then we really saved the worst for last. I despise this map. It's just the most choke-focused one of them all. There really is no good way to rotate here. All the rotations feel bad. They did make it better. It's better than it used to be, but it's still just unbelievably difficult. And I think the reason why it's so difficult is because there are no lanes that aren't flanks. All of the lanes are flanks. Like you go here, this is basically might as well be a flank, not just because of how sharp it is, because it's only like a 45-degree angle here. It's because you have to go through this very narrow corridor without any support. No healing, no health packs, no nothing. And you can't see anything either. And then the same thing goes for like this flank all around the other end. Like there's a very good rule here about how tunnels are scary. Tunnels are really freaking scary. Especially if you're slow. They're just because there's no cover in the tunnel. So when you make the commitment to rotate to here, it's over. Like it's either going to work or it's not going to work. There's no like, oh, you know, I can peek. No, you're all in. You're all in every time you do that. And I think that also kind of applies to a lesser extent in here as well. I mean, case in point, right? Like nothing is here until you get to here. And again, no health packs until you're there, right? It's kind of the same philosophy as you guys noticed from the previous point as well. So it's just like, it could be very difficult to retake this map. And I think like, I would love to see like the win percentages on these because it could feel so toxic to retake this particular point here. And then also the space underneath, like nobody gives a frick about this, you know? Again, it's just so mobility pilled, way too mobility pilled, I think. But yeah, it's an okay map. It's relatively flexible, but it's by far, I think, the weakest, both in terms of aesthetics, which we're not really grading, but in terms of consistency of compositional flexibility, the ability to retake chokes, how nicely communicated the flanks are set up. Yeah, just not great. Just not great. So I'm wondering, I think I might put it below Ilios. I like the game mode more than King of the Hill, but I like the game mode more than King of the Hill, but I think Ilios has fewer problematic aspects, or equally. I don't know. It's close for me. It's close. Okay, last one here before we have Pugs. Yeah, I think New Jung City is like actively hostile to a lot of heroes, more so than almost any other. Survasa, it's good. It's good. I think people rave about this map, but I don't think it's the best map in Overwatch. It's good. It's good. There's a couple of like glaring weaknesses about this map that people don't talk about, which we will. But it's definitely one of my favorite maps. And the glaring weaknesses are nothing flashy or fancy. You probably can predict them as soon as we pull it up. I'm going the wrong way. The good news is that generally first fight is reasonable. Oh, as my latency explodes. I think I just reached 800 there. I've been having a couple latency spikes recently, so I hope it hasn't been affecting stream quality. But I'm just like, dude, I could turn off the YouTube stream in just a few minutes here because we're basically almost done. Okay, I think we're back. This fight is okay. This fight is okay. It's better than New Junk City. I don't think it's as good as Atlas. I don't think it's as good as Atlas. The reason why is that they made this area of the map like Colosseum or like New Junk City, where it's like pretty hostile to anybody that has mobility, but it's better. It's not as bad. Like you could still get here. The problem is that this kind of feels the same in terms of approach. I don't know. The boxes do a lot of deadlifting here. I think the main problem is that people just don't like rotating this far away. Maybe that's my big criticism here. I don't know if you've necessarily changed that. Like the way, here's my feedback here. I don't think that there's anything here that I necessarily change, but I understand why people may not like it because it can feel a little bit awkward to retake. I mean, you have like all these options for retaking the space here. I don't know. It's a lot better than it used to be since they added the boxes and so on. So there's a lot of ways to retake the space, but it can be challenging to retake space here in lower ranks because a lot of those angles do take some time. Maybe my main criticism here is how this is fine, this is fine, but your main lane option is really naked right here. And once you're here, we're fine. But I've had a lot of situations running slower heroes where I don't want to walk into a tracer. All my teammates are stuck here. And so I go here and I'm like, you know, so like, you just don't, it really leaves you vulnerable. So this lane just doesn't really work all that well. And it's like, well, I'll go this way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's going to take me like another 7 seconds to get there. You know, it's not very viable there. So again, what would you do here? Throw a block here, throw a health pack here. There's so many lanes, but some of those lanes just don't feel, the William Defoe don't really feel super great. So it's not a bad first point, but I really cannot emphasize the importance of having first point being super fair, like super options. The props at the side of the point really need to come off for me. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that like maybe one of these on each side needs to go so that like you can maybe contribute from that door there without fully committing, but that they could still have cover here. That would be an improvement. I wouldn't remove both, but I would remove maybe one from each side, something like that. Who knows? It's an okay point. It's flexible enough, and I think that the real thumbs up for me for this point that makes it relatively good is at the professional level and ranked. You will see teams running out on hit scan, flankers, dive tanks, brawl tanks, poke tanks, Sigma, Zen, not Zen, but like you can play Zen here. Like you have, now the other point's not as much, which we'll get to that in a little bit, but like literally every hero is viable here, basically. Oh, we need to destroy a little bit, gotcha. So it's not a bad first point. It's solid. Rotationally, I think they've done a much better job kind of dictating where to go. Glowing point. This is kind of drab, right? Glowing point, right? So I think they've done a better job. I think the biggest problem with this map is probably this section right here. I think this is just really ugly. And I think it's a big, big, big noob bait. And not only is it a noob bait, but I literally see this in Masters. Some teams trying to retake this. It's awful. It's the worst choke in the entire game. Worst choke in the entire map. Arguably the worst choke in the entire map. I do not know why that this is not tweaked. This is legitimately, it's so bad, it's not even a viable lane half the time for flankers. They just need to remove this entire thing or open it up from, like, maybe if they added like a double staircase here and then threw like a health pack here, it could be viable, and have like a weak sight line on the point so you could at least poke from there. It's really, really bad. It's really, really bad. And that's, again, it's not compensated by more laning on the left side, because you go here or you go for a risky angle point. That's it. It's just a 2-lane theory. Put a tunnel through pillar, right? Like anything. This point is gorgeous, but it's probably the worst point in all of Flashpoint, or one of the worst points in all of Flashpoint, because there's just an entire side of the map that's just not viable at all. It's just not viable at all, and this is effective from bronze all the way to pro level. It's just not viable. Now, this section of the map is very open, and I think maybe if you don't agree with it being the worst, maybe I don't even agree with that. I don't, honestly. I'm just saying things, but like, it's pretty bad. This area of the map is pretty good, but it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad. I also think that I don't like what they did with retaking the space here. We'll talk about this one later on, put a pin in it, but I don't understand why they removed the tunnels there. Maybe they want to funnel people better, but this is completely naked, trying to retake this space. And I don't know why that we're going to just kind of have this corridor that goes to nowhere and then not allow attackers to like have some sort of cover to rotate here. Just seems like poorly executed. And remember, well, you know, we're just gonna go to it right now. We're gonna address the elephant in the room here. I think Derpy was one of the ones talking about this one. Okay, we're gonna skip. Guys, why did we remove this? Like, why did we remove this? Like, attacking this section is also quite difficult, and they just took it away. Like, you walk down the choke and you will like it, because this now just doesn't exist anymore. And again, I think the intent is to funnel people, but if you're going to funnel people, then you need to make sure that the funnel is delicious. This is not delicious. This is rough. This is rough. And it is rough the whole 9 yards. Oh, sorry, John. And then again, your options are to flank into Guam, which again, I don't mind if Guam is the flank. Guam is great. I love Guam. I've been there. My aunt lives there, you know. But like, it needs to actually be that this flank is a viable option for flankers, while other people that are slower, like myself, can make stuff work here, and it just doesn't really work that well. Aside from that, I think this one's okay. Maybe this is a little too compressed, a little bit too hard to retake into. Like, trying to retake in this high ground can be pretty miserable. But I do like the fact that there's multiple options that you can go here. It's not my favorite point, but I think it's okay. It's okay. And then, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this should take less time. I don't really know. Maybe, like, for example, like this doorway here, like this needs to be wider. I don't know. Yeah, this outside flank is like relevant, but it's rarely relevant, so I'm not really sure how I feel about it. Yeah. They made this one a little better. I think my criticism is that this sight line from this flank should be better than it is right now, because it's like there's your 1 lane, there's your 2 lane, there's your 3 lane, but I think this is like the most viable flank. People sometimes get stuck here underneath this high ground, but unfortunately, I really think that this flank here should open not into this room, although that should be an option, but there should be an archway here, so it should be much harder to hold this far forward in the choke. And then this rotate is also odd. This point is really cool, by the way. Like, in case you didn't see that, like, this is just super pretty. And these little things here are like pretty viable. Like, I don't know. This is like a more compressed rotational based point for the map, which I'm okay with. But some of these angles and flanks don't make a whole lot of sense. Like, this section of the map feels a little bit incomplete. Feels a little bit like, again, like, how many times are you as an Ana or Zen going to even think about doing this rotation, or Casti, right? Like, maybe occasionally, but it's super awkward. And as you guys already pointed out, it is not mirrored on the other side. So, what kind of dictate? By the way, that little staircase flank that I just took, super nice, super important. So, you know, you go here, this angle here feels way better. Feels way, way, way better. Look at how delicious this ability to retake space is from this side. 1, 2, 3, main, top left rotation that comes out from full safety out from here. deep left flank. Like, you have so many ways of retaking this space here. Like, literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 6 different approaches that otherwise aren't as available. So there's definitely some advantages here. And I think even retaking this space can be okay because, like, again, you still have this angle here. It's basically the mirror of the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Yeah, so it's a little unbalanced. And that rotation can be a little hairy as is squishy here. But I do like the fact that this point is vulnerable from a lot of different angles and flanks, but a lot of those angles and flanks take a little bit more of a commitment. But if you do commit to a side, you generally have a couple of options. So yeah, it's okay. It's all right. It's a little bit more of an open space sightline where like characters like Soldier and so on are going to feel a lot better. Flyer, there are gaps in the top. The gaps in the top, I think, are just part of the intentional visual design and adds flavor to the map, you know? It's not like viable to sit up here, unless you're Cat. But yeah. I don't know. I have mostly no good things to say about Survasa. Just a couple of points. I know someone's in the comments or someone's going to watch this and be like, I'm surprised you didn't talk about X or Y. And to be fair, like I said, I'm learning about map design as much as you guys are. Like, my takes are like, I'm a lot more confident in my opinions on like hero design and so on than I am about map design. So I probably missed a lot of important things. But as long as there are multiple options and those options don't feel incredibly hostile to certain things, then I'm okay with that. Hey, Buns. But yeah, I guess that's mostly it. So I think like I'm pretty happy with my Survasa placement. Seems pretty reasonable. No S tier map, Tetris. Frick it. I want to kind of create more of a bell curve here, something that looks a little bit, not bell curve, but like something that like, no, I think this is good. I think this is all right. A tier was too fat. S tier is trim. F tier kind of deserves to be large. I think if we were going to give any maps S tier, probably something along those lines. But I don't know. You really could pivot the push maps around there. You could pivot even Samoa up there. I just don't like the game mode. Don't overthink placement too much. Like I said, depending on the day, I could literally bump maps up or down a tier. But in that general vicinity is kind of where I place them. Would it benefit players who try to off-angle to pick the higher rated maps? It can. I think the thing with, like, not necessarily, though. It's a good question. There are still 3 lanes a lot of times in these areas. But the... okay, actually, no, you're right. There are definitely more options with the higher ones. There's more angles to choose from. I think the thing that I also take away from maps, though, is that oftentimes there are maps in the bottom that have angle options, but depending on your hero, you may literally not be able to find a proper angle. Like Circuit, there's generally 2 lanes at least consistently, but if you're not running the sniper, you might not find it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe Circuit needs to be bumped up if we're like... Except these... So yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I do think Havana feels oftentimes worse than Circuit, so maybe you're right. Honestly, guys, maybe Havana's the worst map. I might even dislike it worse than Powder East. So again, I said don't overthink placement too much, but people are going to definitely be gravitating towards the F tier more than any other tier. So Why is Numbani so high? Go try First Point Numbani and be a little creative with it. First Point Numbani is night and day. Not night and day. It's like night and evening. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll drop it down a little bit based off of second point woes. And yeah, I'm gonna put it above Blizzard World though. I'm gonna put it above Blizzard World, I think. It's really not that bad of a map. It's not that bad of a map. But yeah. I'm gonna stick with this. I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. It's just, it's so tenuous. Like it's, like I said, map design is so freaking tenuous. It's like, it feels somehow more subjective than hero design. Nepal suffers from the arguably worst game mode in Overwatch. That's a spicy take. And some of the worst map design in Overwatch. Shrine is fine for the most part. Sanctum and Village are war crime worthy. Yeah, I'm with you, Trey. As an Ana Zen player, I mean, I just, yeah, same. Okay. How far is the gap between the maps within S tier? I mean, basically nothing. Like you could bump maps in A tier to S tier. You could even say some of my B tier maps are S tier. Like I don't know. Like it's super subjective. I'm not even sure what I think, much less what the average person thinks. Yes. Map tier list for heroes. Like what map is good about? I think we did that at some point. A guide to map voting. No, wait, we did that. We did that. Spylo Eclipse, right? I almost said Spylo Eclipse. What was it? Spylo Eclipse. Yeah. Complete guide to Overwatch map voting. Does that link even work? It doesn't work. Frick me. I'm gonna have to update that command. Commands. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Spylo 3. Spylo clips. That should work. But yeah, there's a complete guide to Overwatch map voting, which I ramble for over 2 hours about sightlines, breadth, width, depth, and so on. That was exhausting. I'll probably start the lobby here. I'll change stream title in a second here. Objectively might not be the worst buy, because the worst to me, I don't think there is an objective. I think like you can talk about objectively. I think a lot of this maps from like my parameters are objectively worse. But I agree with you. It's like once you get to like F tier, it's so freaking hard to find like what is the worst map. And I think a lot of people would agree with you. Wrong command got edited. Are you serious? I did the exclamation mark Spylo. I am so stupid. What even was the Spylo command before that? I don't even remember. I think somebody did. Commands, edit. Take care, GKB. I appreciate you, mate. I'm so stupid. There's an insult, I believe. Yeah, probably.
Like, how do I practice the flute? I can't even afford one. That shit's like $300.
That's the first thing I heard. Yeah. I'm definitely that's the first thing I hear. I'd love to know the context behind practicing the flute.
Yeah.
How could I do it? How could I afford it?
play
Verdict
the custody game.
first Spyro doesn't pay his Pugs employees enough.
No, that's true.
It sounds like you're using your webcam
Monitor
mic
mic
or something like that.
Yeah,
You sound like you're really far away.
I mean, I kind of like
Maybe I
that
just am
placement.
far away.
Yes, I agree.
Looks like the lobby's open.
Yeah, lobby's open
I'm
to.
here.
Oh, you're here? You already have your own lobby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sorry.
I mean, we can go to that lobby. I don't care.
No. It's fine. Lobby superiority.
Philo trying to come in and make it all about himself.
Dude, I checked to see. I checked to see if IC was online. I checked to see if IC was online first before I started one. That's what I did.
Bro
It
invites me
literally
to an
is all
empty
about him.
lobby.
It's literally fine.
And because it's Pepper Pugs, I will be off rolling and playing bad heroes and relaxing and yeah. Although I can't help but notice that like
Roadhog.
3/4 of the people in this are all like high elo players, so y'all better be.
No one shows up to this.
Literally,
man.
no one's here.
It's
what's
our
going
D&D
on?
group, and it's our D&D group and tech.
Yeah.
Hey, why can't I
okay.
join your lobby? It says
To be
there's a
fair,
permission.
So
to
instead of
And
like
so-
Pepper Pugs, it's just everybody beats up on Pepper Pugs because I'm
Yeah.
Quick
Beat
play
the
queue,
crap
Coco,
out of
that's why.
Pepper, yeah.
I'ma die. I'ma
Like, you're
die.
in a quick
Pugs.
play queue. That's why.
I'm not going to
Try
sweat.
doing
All right, let me update stream title here. I'll stream a couple of these. I can't Pugs with patrons. Let y'all vote for what hero I play as long as I'm bad at it, because I think with Pepper Pugs we tried it. It's more of a relaxed thing. So
You see my name on Discord?
T Nodlin's coming.
Yikes.
I mean, Nodlin's legit for being in Pepper Pugs on 2 certain roles.
Yeah, that's true.
Diamond.
He's improving though. He's improving quite fast.
Yeah.
Isn't he like high diamond or support?
No, he's currently low diamond in support.
Dude, anybody here play Ashton Mirror, bro? That game is so
He's currently
fun.
low diamond in support. Could he make it to high diamond just playing like Zen and flanking people? Like, yeah, but he just hasn't played that many games.
Honestly, GKB, you're more than welcome to join if you want. Like I said, it's Pepper Pugs, so we're just chilling. So you're more than welcome to. We're gonna kind of be off rolling and having a good time. Just because with Pugs, sometimes the SR spread is like, even if the lobby's balanced, it's still like champ player or GM players and then like silver players. It's like could be a little tough. So this is why we do Pepper Pugs. Yeah, the weird thing about Ike is it's like flankers have really easy time on second point, all things considered, but like breaking first point choke can be kind of awkward, and third point's kind of butt for flankers. Like third point's terrible for flankers, so Genji's probably fine. Like, Genji's like pretty flexible there, but yeah.
Well, Ice-T, we
GKB,
are
what's up?
Ice-T stream audience.
God damn it, dude.
Dude, we're losing people as fast as they're signing on. What's happening?
I'm just waiting for
Overwatch
JH.
server.
I blame Spylo. That's all.
Yo, DTG, you staying up tonight for the pro shit? I mean, the pro stuff.
I might.
Where the hell are
No.
you, JH?
I might just
If-
watch
if-
it
if you-
tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I might have to do that for this one.
GKB,
I have stuff to do tomorrow.
did you
Yeah,
see
I've
that
got work tomorrow.
Did you see that they played Ryan on Oasis? I was thinking about you. They played Ryan in Oasis University. The pro teams did. It was really funny.
I have to rewatch that.
Yeah, I was like,
They mirrored Ryan.
Oh, nice.
Alright, GK gets the spot then, if GK comes faster.
I am in now.
welcome.
Wow.
GK beat your
by a
ass,
fraction of
JH.
a second.
Get fucked.
You could put him in instead of me.
You're also muted. I can't hear you. Oh, you don't want in? Okay, I'll put him in. Okay.
You can get Nodlin in
I got
in the game.
It's full.
Well, he's spectator at least.
On my wall.
Oh, I forget what you play, Olivine. Give me a moment. Let me stare at your thing.
Kings Row. This is a true Pepper's
Oh,
Pug
you're the one who doesn't
experience.
talk. Okay, I need to find you.
What a disaster this is.
Yeah.
You know what's great is that I'm not taking heat for once in my life. I really like that. And it's completely unwarranted as well, so now T knows how it feels.
What?
Nothing.
I
Never
don't,
mind.
I don't think he was listening.
That's my
Literally,
I
don't talk
Maybe
to me.
Dude, I need to learn that skill. I need to tune out the noise, guys.
Can somebody server meet this guy?
Comedy.
Yeah, you can do it in your brain. Just people you don't want to listen to. I do that all the time. I'm doing it right now. Like right now.
I want you to know I'm very good at that.
I will server mute myself. How about that?
Yeah.
Hey, that's the strat, guys. See, I can talk to Twitch chat now. If I'm deafened, then nobody can stop me. And the best part about it is that I know that they can still hear me from the echo in Pepper's mic. Can they? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if they can. Explosive will join soon? Nice. Okay. Looks like we're going to be in support. Challenge, not talk. Yes, you didn't spell challenge correctly, though. Idiot. Where are you from, Jacob? Where in Europe did you say you were from? Poland? How hard of a language is Polish? I guess it's kind of hard to answer that if you're native. Like, how do I answer how hard is English to speak? Why? Ha ha ha. What is that? It's super easy. You should try it. Give me a good Polish saying. Something that's appropriate to say. And kind. Barely bilingual. Polish is hard. I'm better at English. That's funny.
What, bro? I was really. Wow. So, okay. You want yours, but I get it.
Hi, everybody.
I'm here to support. No unnecessary risks.
Thanks, Doug.
It's like violence is free, but I love it.
Do not fear, for growth is always painful.
Korva. Is that Polish?
Just what I need. Let's finish this quickly.
Don't say that.
Amplifying your power.
Wait. Translate. Hollow of the knee in Spanish. Crow. It just means crow. Just means crow. Am I missing something? No, he didn't send me the New Drink City code.
Yeah, I do. I really do. No lie, I
I need a flash shield, bro. That's not how you write it? My bad. No. I'm freaking trolling. I'm dying. Dude, I trolled. How do we get traded there? Kurwa.
Zeit für einen neuen Plan. Yeah, she's up here. Checking in. Honestly, the rapid drawing this make is so disturbing. I don't know why. It just makes me feel
one can hide from my sight. Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Boosting your damage.
Sorry guys, I'm so locked in right now. Oh my poopy, what the heck? I'm trolling, bro. What am I doing there?
Excellent. I must
My
return
bad.
to my post.
Thanks. Put it on my tab.
I'm deiner Seite.
I don't know, bro. No idea. Bro, how does that...
Good work. Supplying damage increase. Oh, heroes never die.
Bro, what are we doing here? Why is my ping not working, bro? Bro, all my keybinds are screwed with this character. Ah, mama.
He's right here.
Over there. Damage intensified.
Can we deal with that?
Over there. Feel stronger? Over there.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant the super jump. Super jump. Oh, I'm freaking stuck. Dude, we just never killed the brig. Ow. Is this what Mercy players sound like? I think this is what Mercy players sound like.
I'm here to support. Supplying damage increase.
No, I flash shield nobody. I flash shield the wrong person. Oh no.
No one can hide from my sight.
Nope.
I will die. Would it make me sound scoliosis?
Quick. Ah. I can't see anybody. Frick. I didn't know what to do, man. I was like, I got stuck. I should have just walked, I guess.
Heroes never die.
Okay, fine. At least I died on my own.
60 seconds remaining.
My skills are still needed.
Need the not C9 here? No, no, I didn't mean to do that. Whatever, fine. I was trying to select it and... Gregor, hit a shot, please, I beg. Please, Gregor.
Step right up.
10 seconds.
Nice! Look who we held.
Score 0.
Would you say it's okay to make mistakes as a low GM, new low GM player? Of course. I mean, you're never gonna not make mistakes. Never. Like, it's never gonna not be part of your gameplay. So just accept it.
Select your hero.
Well, I have... Okay. I mean, the Genji C9 was like, the fight was probably already lost, but yeah, it's funny. So bad, this hero. Okay, all my keybinds are screwed up. Like, they're like not the default. I wonder if I like delete override. Does that fix it?
Set up here.
I hear a lot of folks say chivalry's dead, but I'm
I think
glad
I think I
to see
fixed
it's
it.
alive
I
and
think I
well
fixed
with
it.
you, partner.
And look at you, making the old West young again.
Oh, I think I've seen too many sunsets to call myself young.
Young or
I'll change him. It's fun to watch
old,
Roll around.
proud to chase the next one by your side.
I'm trying.
Someone called the wind. 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective A. Alright, they're all supposed to be fired.
I see an enemy. I'm that Seite.
They have a rock climbing.
Ich kümmere mich um
The
dich.
nondescript gun down. The gun down.
Need some assistance? Amplifying your power.
Bro, Gregor, no. Oh, I suck. Holy map positioning? Yeah, we did nothing with it.
You call it? Monstering you.
I am
Group
restored.
up here. I can fix
Cass is dead, I think. Aw.
Heroes never die.
I just needed to know. Yeah, we chumbled that one. We had a man advantage and just stayed in there too long.
Minor perk unlocked.
Excellent. Over here. Right by you. Boosting your
Step
damage.
right up.
We should have been enough point. Okay, we might need to swap to something here up, because this is the Mercy's not doing anything.
Making a full recovery.
Windborn, spend every moment growing into who you truly are.
We're giving pocket, not working.
In the flow. Life from air calls.
Oh no.
My platform is here.
10 seconds.
That should do it. You're better off with me.
Chad, I may have to end stream. My latency's getting really high.
I'm not showboating, am I?
The payload.
No, I got cut. I got cut.
I can elevate you here.
Over there.
Enemy here. Lots more options from above. Rounding forth.
Nice.
A little care always helps.
Ah, no. Got him.
I'm moving the payload. Feel free to join me. Hop on. Windborn. Feeling better, I hope.
Yeah, John, I'm gonna try to keep going as long as I can, but he's dead. I did not mean to do that. That was I completely misplaced that. That was a really bad tree, my bad. No, it wasn't hesitation, it's the keybinds. I always screw up my keybinds. Where'd you go? Aw, it didn't cleanse the... That's kind of annoying, it doesn't cleanse the thing. You need to win fast!
No one can hide from my sight. Engage the enemy.
An enemy here.
The payload's moving.
Thank you so much.
I got part, don't worry.
Bro. Gregor.
Enemy here.
60 seconds remaining.
Aw, Rick.
Over there.
Payload stalled. Move on. Payload. Help me move it. I walked into that one.
Do not provoke me.
Can't have never getting worse. Life protects life.
Swing, 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 swing! Kill this fricker!
My tree is gone. Find cover.
Right, we have such an advantage. We didn't press our advantage. Oh no. Frick. Alright, I should probably stop streaming them because the latency is kind of bad for Pepper too. It's not just me. Yeah, it's not fixed. Alright, GG guys. I'll see you guys later. Loves and kisses. I'll be back on Tuesday. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.